Are we live?
We didn't even get to hear any of that. It's just lips.
Oh,
Nice.
damn. I give a really good recap of Ghost Protocol.
Are we still doing the Lost recaps when I don't know what's happening? Is that what we're doing?
I don't remember what season we're on, but we can do it.
Did we make it to the polar bears yet?
I think,
I
yeah,
wish you
because
guys
Polar
would
Bear is
reference
like
a
episode
damn show
3.
I watched.
What show have you watched?
Yeah, what's the show you watch?
Yeah, huh?
What's
I
the
really
show
don't watch
you
that much TV.
Well, then it's going to be a little hard.
It's going to be a little hard. Bro.
Orange is the New Black. I saw that one.
What are we, in high school?
Fuck you, Bill.
It's like 20 years old.
I watch Star Wars stuff like Clone Wars and stuff.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I'm talking about the cartoon one, not like the fucking movie.
Oh, the best Star Wars movie?
Shut up. Phantom Menace is the best. Said no one ever.
That's a bold statement.
That also brings me back to a How I Met Your Mother episode.
I swear I
When
quit.
Ted is dating that younger woman, she's like, oh yeah, I only like the prequels. Good enough.
I don't want a spoiler for why he was just saying weird shit. She hasn't made it that far yet. She's only in season 3.
Is this a good time to mention I haven't seen all of the Star Wars movies yet?
She saw the first one.
The first one, Phantom Menace, the first one?
No, the first
no,
one.
no.
The real first
The
one.
real first one.
Okay.
1977.
Technically, I've seen the others, but I needed subtitles, and I didn't have them, so I was confused.
She liked it. She said it was cool. She's like, I like the droids. I was like, you're the only one.
Roger.
Not those droids, C-3PO and R2-D2.
Oh, sorry.
You're the only.
This reminds me of another How I Met Your Mother episode when Ted, when he's doing the thing with that lady, and you're like, we should have expected a and then a right there, and it didn't hear it.
She's almost there. She's almost there. Okay. Anyway,
What
hello.
are we doing tonight?
I
We
feel like
are,
there's a reason why Skriznet picks on fucking
We are the Initiative Syndicate, and we're going to play Dungeons and Dragons tonight. We're going to do a brief recap from last week's session because a lot of weird, interesting, fun things happened.
And Skriznet wasn't here.
In the Underdark, which is where our party is adventuring. They are pursuing to look for clues and make their way through the Underdark in an attempt to find out what happened to Niv Mizzet. They believe that he was abducted and kidnapped by Illithid, although for what reasons or what purpose they're not entirely sure, but they had help from one of the guild members, Ichabod Sparks. I was like, that doesn't sound right, but that was his name, Ichabod Sparks, to help infiltrate the Izzet Tower of Nivix and abduct him. You, as the party, have liberated the tower, and you've made your way down to the Underdark, where you believe that for a while the Illithid have had some sort of base or a underground operation of some sort, although you're not entirely sure how long they've been here or what's been going on with them. After a encounter with a group of giants and trolls who were in some sort of an argument or disagreement with a small little hunting village of goblins, you intercepted, battled the trolls and the giants, and befriended the goblins, who told you that you were welcome in their village at any point before they leave. They decided that they are going to be leaving the Underdark because it's just far too dangerous. And since they now are probably going to be mortal enemies with one of the residents of the Underdark not far from where they are currently at, they decided that it wasn't safe for them to hang out here anymore. So while you were there, you learned about many threats. One of which is the one that the goblins are the most afraid of now, since you intercepted and interjected with the giants, and that is the king, who lives in a volcano. Basically, his name is King Moltar, a fire giant. You heard that there was a secret pathway into, not so secret pathway into his lair besides the front door, known as the Devil's Stairway, where it is believed that the Spider Queen resides, and that she protects. She has some sort of an alliance with King Moltar. You're not sure exactly what that is, or maybe she's not even aware that he's there, but the local residents definitely know that she is there somewhere. You also learned of a dragon who seems to stalk the swamps and bog in which you currently are, known as Nightshade. Not really sure his purpose or her purpose or how long they have been here, why they're here, why they choose this place. Almost sort of like a myth or a legend. Some people don't even believe that Nightshade exists. No one really sees it. It's always dark here. But you ended up coming in contact with some frog people, and they, instead of fighting, even though I'm pretty sure that's what Elvin wanted to do, you guys were subdued through some sort of toxin and poison, and you woke up in a cage hovering over top of a large well. When you came to, you met your abductors, your captors, is a group of human hybrid frog people known as bullywugs. They have a kingdom in the swamp. Their kingdom, their king believes that he is the rightful ruler of the entire Blight Bog, which is the name of the swamp that you guys currently are in. However, I think King Multar and Nightshade would disagree with that. You made friends with one of the advisors to the king, a frog fairy known as Polly, who basically said that you would be given a chance to defend yourselves and have audience with the king. And I think that's pretty much where we left off, is that you guys were no longer in the cage. They did take all of your weapons and all of your things that you could do magic with, but they left you with your clothes and your non-war type things. Your normal stuff, like your camping gear and stuff like that, stuff's still in there. But they took pretty much anything that you could use to cast a spell, all of your spell focuses, anything that could be used to cause an explosion or stab anyone.
Try my movable rod.
No, they didn't take that.
Yes. Interesting.
Good to know.
And use it as a staff.
So, you are in the main audience chamber of Lord Croakswell the 23rd. The audience chamber itself is part throne room, part library. There are a few portraits hanging up on the walls, paintings, and there are also some like busts and sculpts of the various different Croakswells throughout time. You're not sure exactly when the first Croakswell came to the land or built the castle or how long the castle has been here, but the current king is Lord Croakswell the 23rd. So there were 22 before him. So you have been given free reign of the castle, except for the off-limit parts, and you're basically in this little audience chamber. No one else is there with you, but there's guards posted at the 4 doors. What do you want to do?
That's a good question.
Well, what do you think we say to this Croakswell feller to get us the heck out of here?
Are we there in front of him now?
No.
No, not yet.
Are the guards close enough that they can hear everything we say? Or...
Yep.
Yeah? Okay.
Mhm.
I know exactly what I'm going to say to him to get us out of this.
Okay.
And then I walk away. Like,
I'm waiting.
well,
Are you
you'll
gonna-
hear it when I tell him.
Oh, you're not gonna share with the class?
It would work out better if we'll wait till then.
Maybe you can warn us so we know how to react, or
You say warn, like, what are you worried of?
you know, Skriz, your mind works different than the rest of ours, and we just can't keep up
Thank you
sometimes.
so much. Thank you. Yes,
Your
as
brilliance
the leader I am, I
is-
try my
Your
best.
brilliance is unmatched.
Yeah. So if you could, you know.
I would like to roll insight if I can feel the sarcasm come off Liz.
Too bad.
We need the first roll. I haven't rolled in a while. I need to roll. I rolled a 15.
I got a 1. I'm definitely being sarcastic.
I'm gonna look at Liz and be like, I fucking hate you. I thought. I'm not telling you definitely. You know
That's
what
all
I am gonna tell him? Never mind. I slipped the one ring on and I disappeared.
They forgot to take his ring.
Rookie
Time out ring. They
mistake.
took the guild signet rings. I'm assuming. Okay.
So yes, Skriz is just gonna go after he looks at Liz and he's like, "How are you still alive?"
I don't know.
Well, technically he's not.
I'm not. Yeah, it's true.
Well-
Skriz goes around walking around just anything he sees, like if there's a vase or anything, he just starts picking it up, looking around.
There's a lot of nice sculptures and handcrafted like statuettes and figurines and stuff on some of the shelves.
Are they like watching us real close?
They're watching, but I wouldn't say that they're intently looking at everything that you're doing. They are more interested in making sure that no one tries to go through the doors than they are at anything else.
So I just want to make it look like I'm going around like, what's this? Where was this made at? Ew, this was made in that district? Ah, gross. And then I'm just going to randomly like pick up something and I'm just going to walk up Navenna and I'm going to just like throw it in one of her pockets.
Are you trying to be sneaky about it?
To the guards I am. To her, I'm just like, put this in your pocket. We might...
Later.
So what type of thing are you trying to grab?
Something about medium size.
Okay. So we will say that a candelabra, a small candelabra, that can sit on top of a shelf. There are a bunch of twisted vines within the sculpt that wrap around, and at the ends where the candles sit in are these like little lily pad structures, and embedded around the little lily pad structures are these like little tiny. They look like sapphires.
Oh, well, then I'm just going to pick the little sapphires off of it.
Okay.
I'm just going to be sitting there like, you wiggle it back and forth like, until it like breaks. It broke. Shut. And then I'm going to act like, fuck. You're like, this is awfully flimsy. This is, who makes this? Breaks off. I'm like, oh crap. Then we'll break it. If it breaks off of my hand, I'm going to take it and just, I'm going to walk over to Liz. I'm like, oh, I forgive you for being a smartass, and I want to drop it in his pocket.
All right. So you have a small sapphire chip in your pocket.
Cool. Thanks.
Well, I want to make sure he. I rolled a nat 20.
Yeah, you don't know about it.
Thanks to your comment.
Genuine or not?
And I just continue to look around.
It's surprising that the palace itself is so well kept. You are in a bog. You're in a swamp. There's flowing water in and out of the entire palace from the chambers that you've been in, which has only really been a couple. The main hallway that led into this chamber has like a little bit of a stream. It kind of reminds you the way that a sewer is built, where there's sort of like a flow for water and sort of pathways on the side. But a lot of the water itself in here, the pathways are a little bit more narrow than in a sewer, and what looks to be almost like lily pads stacked up on top of each other form these almost like carpets that go across the water. So it's almost like they're floating on the water, but when you kind of look, they're actually not even touching the water. There's some sort of magical enchantment that they're kind of hovering above the water.
Now the water does. You said it's
It
moving,
floats,
so
yeah.
it's not stagnant.
No, it's green. I'm sorry, it's blue.
Oh, the water's blue. I
Yes,
would like
it's
to take
very,
the
very
canteen
clear.
because there's probably just a little bit of gravy left in it, and fill it up with the water.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to fill it up.
Okay.
So you have palace water.
Palace water.
That may or may not be relevant later.
I'm gonna write that down.
Penis water. Well, if Skriz's plan doesn't work, y'all got any ideas of what we may or may not be able to say to this guy?
Well, they were talking about they had this monster of some description that he has to go fight, although she did say he had to do it by himself. I don't know if we could...
Well, like, kill it by himself, sure, but, like, I didn't hear anything about no one else wounded at first.
That is a
Holding
good
it
point.
down.
Maybe, I don't know, aiding him, at the very
Help
least.
buff him. I know we have haste and different things that could help. Slow
Yeah,
or
yeah.
slow it down.
Yeah, I got a
Good
sword that can
spells.
help.
You shield him while he's.
Yeah. I'll push
I
him
look
out
at
of
my
the way.
spell book. Oh, wait. They took that.
So we have some ways to help, maybe.
Potentially.
There are there's books and like a small and like not a small but like a 2-width person desk at the opposite ends of the chamber. The books, they kind of go up maybe the height of the chamber's walls in here, maybe 10, 15 feet. The bookcases themselves are maybe 15, 20 feet wide. There's various different books. Most of them are about etiquette and culture, as far as like their culture. Most of them look very well read, as in their spines are. They're not new books. These have been read and flipped through many, many times. There's a few books that are like just glancing. Obviously, there's a few fairy tale books. There's some that looks to be maps of the area. Books on legends and lore of the area.
Those might be interesting. I guess I'm just gonna ask one of the guards if I'm free to read any of these books.
I'm with you.
Are you still wearing the seashells? They croak at you, which you translate as yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess I'll start with maybe one of the culture books. See if there's anything I can pick. Just skimming through a book, if there's anything like maybe of note.
How
of their
long do you want to
culture.
spend kind of thumbing through this book?
Maybe 30 minutes.
Okay.
I'll go with you, and we can like pick different books and see,
Yeah.
compare notes later.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. What are the other two members of the party doing?
I'll probably go and look for a book about the surrounding area, like the map books more so.
Okay.
See if I can get a lay of the lands more.
All right.
I think Skriz is just walking around and he's just trying to make conversation with the guards.
Okay. Well, let's do that while they're reading books.
Fair enough.
So we have a seashell where we can translate where they say.
It's kind of like a little earpiece. Yeah.
Oh, a little-
It not only lets you understand what they're saying, but also lets you communicate to them.
So, if you had to wear glasses, how big are they with them big eyeballs?
He kind of, the guard that you're the closest one to, kind of tilts his head, and you see his like little blue and white striped uniform, very prim, very proper, with these like little roughly fluffy things around the neck and the collar. He kind of looks down. He's holding basically like this big halberd. Glasses. What are glasses?
Well, I guess you don't need them then with big ol' eyes like that. They're help you see better.
This is a problem on the surface.
Only for the weak.
You don't wear them, so you must be strong.
Oh, super strong. Yes, these eyes. I can see everything with them.
Why are they different colors? Is that normal for your species?
Well, yeah, because I can shoot a laser out of one of these eyes. if I'm made mad enough.
What's a laser?
Think of it you shot a crossbow, but it was
Okay.
just constant shooting out of your eyes.
Doesn't that hurt?
But then it was like a firebolt,
Wait,
and then
it's a crossbow
But it was
and
like-
a firebolt?
and then lightning shot behind it, and then and yeah, that's what I said.
Bert, come over here. This guy's talking about this thing in his eye. Come over here. And he kind of calls over to one of the other guards, and the guard walks over and just curiously is listening to you talk about this laser thing, and They both seem really intrigued.
Yeah.
So like, is it a weapon or?
Oh yeah, and I've already killed one dragon with it, but I have to be super mad.
You killed a
A
dragon?
dragon by eyesight alone.
Wow. They both seem like really impressed.
Yes. So you're gonna let us out?
Oh no,
But what if I got mad?
we have to take that
I'm
chance.
claustrophobic, and I get mad when I get claustrophobic.
Yeah, no, we can't. King's orders.
All right, I'm gonna go sit in the corner and get mad, and hopefully my eye don't go off.
Oh, okay. Hopefully we don't have to cut you with these pole axes.
You know what? I'm gonna go sit in the corner and not get mad. But damn it, thought that'd work. Stupid frogs.
Do you say that loud enough for them to hear it?
A little bit.
The one who was at first impressed looks at you and goes, "What did you call me?
What?
Did you call me a frog?"
What's a frog?
Am I overhearing this at
Yes.
all?
It's very loud now.
I believe he said stupid bogs, like we got caught in the bog. You know what I'm saying?
Deception check.
Come on, baby. Hot dice.
I think it's not me.
Ooh, deception, you say?
Yep.
Let's see if I have any pluses. I do.
Charisma.
A natural 19.
All right. Okay. You know him better than I do, and I'm not fluent in his. He looks at you, kind of with almost disgust in his eyes, and says, "Culture."
I know you want to say something else, didn't you? I can see it in their big bulbous eyes of yours.
So when he says bulbous, it's like an endearing term.
I can't help it that his eyes aren't able to see past his nose.
Yeah, won't you lick your eyeballs and leave me alone?
But his eyes also shoot lasers.
I'm starting to get mad.
Make a intimidation check.
Can I give him disadvantage by trying to calm down the situation?
It doesn't matter.
Ooh, I rolled another 19.
Well, I rolled a 9, so I have to roll for disadvantage. Nice. Oh, I thought that was a 1. I was like, damn it. That was a little bit better. So 9 total.
9. Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to take that chance.
I just look at him and I try to lick my eye. I'm like,
Your tongue doesn't go out quite far enough, so he's not sure exactly what you're trying to do.
but it's long enough. It just goes like in my nose, and I'm like, oh, good. I'll snack.
Oh God.
He kind of looks like he's gonna throw up a little bit. All right. Well,
So does Rocky.
the king will be with you soon.
I get where you're coming from.
He has to wake from his nap.
Is there like, if he does something like that again, is there a better place to vomit in here? Because he does this stuff all the time, and it just,
Might,
Ralph a little
might I
bit.
suggest not vomiting?
You could suggest it all you want, it just happens sometimes. It's
But
called a constitution saving throw. Sometimes you don't pass it.
So the water that I put in the canteen, I shake it up. I'm like, hey, Rocky, I added water to my canteen.
I can only imagine the kind of water you put in there.
It's this clear blue water.
Clear blue. Can I look and see if it's cool, anything crazy, or if it's clean?
I'd say make a nature check.
Nature. Hot dice again. Ooh, not so good. 4.
It looks pretty clean and clear to you. I mean, it doesn't look like it has any sort of contaminants. It's steady flowing.
Okay. Can I get a little cupful and do a
No,
little
no, no,
sip?
you don't want to drink. Yeah, I got some in here.
I know what was in there. Don't bullshit a bullshitter.
So I turn the cap and I drink it. I'm like, that gravy in there was powdered. Now it's like thickening back up.
Oh God. It's like powdered
So
milk.
after I've drinking some of the
Powdered
water,
gravy.
it's probably going to be spit back out.
Do you actually drink the water?
I think I'm trying to give a little guy if it looks clean.
It's clean. It's cool. It's actually pretty refreshing. It tastes almost like it came from a mountain spring or it definitely has sort of a salty sweetness to it that kind of gives you that impression that it came from a clean source.
Oh.
hell, this
Any of
water
those
ain't
that
that
drank the
bad.
water, you gain 7 temporary hit points.
Woo!
Interesting.
I'm feeling
Too
pretty
bad I'm
good
busy
after
reading
this
a
water.
book.
Yeah, I'm barely paying attention.
Don't
but as I
let Baron
hear-
Nestle hear about this water.
Okay, so things you learn from the book. Bullywug culture. More specifically, this particular group of bullywugs. They come from a long line of loyalty and royalty. The Croakswells were the first family to officially don the original crest. They were the first bullywugs to ever come in any sort of money or fortune. They won the, I guess you would call it a sort of like an election to see which family had the right to lead them on. Once the bullywugs decided that they wanted to outgrow their more primal animalistic nature. They decided that they wanted to be more cultured and more civilized. They wanted to be taken seriously amongst the other races of surface dwellers and just people in the world. There's no mention as to why the bullywugs have never actually made their way to the surface. But the culture that they learned from actually came from etiquette books. Like as you're looking through them, some of these books actually came from Ravnica. They were written by authors in Ravnica. You've heard of them working near and around the library. The names of the authors are not important at the moment. But you know that they've written other books, more specifically about culture and etiquette. The ideas and concepts behind their royalty lines, though, seem very exaggerated and almost like Grimm's fairy tales. It's almost satirical. How very serious they are about it, but given the books that they probably started reading, as like I said, you notice some that were fairy tales and such. The caricature of it just can't be helped. That's pretty much all you learn from the culture. They are very easily offended.
I can just overhear that.
They are not afraid to fight. And there are, usually if there's a few bullywugs, there are many. They don't usually make alliances outside of their race, but they have made alliances with other deities and entities that share frog-like characteristics, such as slods
Slots.
and grungs. For those who don't know what grungs are, they are little tiny frog people. They are not bullywugs. What were you looking up?
I figured we were each taking a book on culture and etiquette and then swapping notes.
I'd say that covered probably a lot of it. That's about all that you've really gathered. To them, mealtime is important, family time is important, and everything is done with a very prim and proper sort of. It's almost like I said, it's very caricature. They take being on time as important, and the only people who have any concept of being able to do pretty much whatever they want is the king and queen. Although this particular king, from what you remember, has never taken a wife. So, just the king. You were looking for cartography and maps. So the lay of the land, there are a few hand-drawn maps and a few books. There's a couple that are actually hanging on the walls as well. They all kind of vary to some degree as far as accuracy. None of them are like to scale. They just kind of give you a general idea of where things might be. There's a portion on almost all the maps that has this sort of like darkened forest. It almost looks like a black spotted forest. And it's believed that that is probably the lair of Nightshade. It's somewhere in that forested part of the bog. It's got more trees and whatnot there than probably any other part of the bog. There's a lot that go on the outsides, and then there's sort of a few paths that lead like north, northwest, and kind of northeast that lead off further into the Underdark. Those parts are considered more unexplored. This is only really just like the maps that you have are more like just a centralized part of the Blight Bog. The other map shows like a picture of what looks to be some sort of a mountain, but the mountain itself is not above ground. The mountain is actually in the ground. So there's a few maps that kind of show you that the volcano peaks and stuff they're not actually you don't see them from the ground level. You actually would have to go underneath the earth or underneath the ground to see them. And the Devil's Stairway itself is actually a spiral column of pillars and jagged rocks that lead down into the earth. It's a not very well kept secret that is another way into the volcano of King Moltar. Now there is a main gate where a few of the little spires and molten rock kind of rest above. Again, it's cartoony and sort of exaggerated. They almost look like two little tiny watchtowers on the map. So there is clearly a main level entrance to get into Moltar's kingdom, but it doesn't really look like they had very good scouting operations that had like a very detailed map. They just know that it's over there. They know roughly where it's at, and there's a few notes like it's in the ground, Devil's Stairway, big scary molten lava thing, and that's pretty much it.
Is there anything talking about the tomb location and any?
Well, that's
terrain?
actually in one of the fairy tale books.
Okay.
So the Tomb of the Fallen Warrior. So according to the one fairy tale, the land of Blightbog used to have a different name. It was called Shalar. Shalar used to be one of the most beautiful places in the Underdark. Someone at some point had actually cast an enchantment on the sky that reflected the sun, so it always looked like it was daytime in this particular part. So all the plants were lush, they were green. Certain enchantments were in place to where it actually would rain, and flowers bloomed, trees bloomed, grass grew. There were strange birds that are not common into the Underdark that hung out in this one particular area. It was almost sort of like a biodome contained in the Underdark. But something happened, and one of the children of an elf, a Dvarkian elf, went off to war. He never came back alive. His body was brought back to this little biodome, and it said that the tears of his mother are the reason that the grass no longer grows and that it's a bog now. From that point on, it was always known as Blightbog. It's almost as if his mother's tears, or magic contained within her, again, fairy tale, hard to say, had cursed the land.
Did it give any names of these?
The warrior did not have a name. The mother also did not have a name. And it's just speculation. It's rumors. It's legends. The legend is probably older than Lizica.
Fair enough. That's a good time frame there.
Cool.
Were there? I feel like there was one more book type. I forgot. I can't remember. Is there another? Were there any more books that we were missing?
There seems to be some sort of a. It's not quite a journal. It's more like a notebook. It says property of Lord Croakswell the 21st, and it's written in almost like juvenile handwriting. There's a few notes and things, mostly jotting down bits and pieces of the etiquette, maybe that he was required to learn, or the pieces of their history that he was required to learn. It's mostly pretty boring stuff. There's a few things in there like, this is what I did today, and you kind of get the sense that it was kind of boring and kind of dull, and they pretty much raised this person to be a hero to their people from an early age. You do learn a little bit more about something referred to as the Beast of the Bog, which is something that the Croakswells, for not the entire time the Croakswells have ruled, but at some point his father's 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 father or whatever.
So the 15th.
Probably the 15th. This beast started basically, people would go missing. It'd just start disappearing. More specifically, royalty, members of the royal family and stuff would go missing. It always seemed like whatever this beast was, and they'd only ever really caught a glimpse of it. They described it as almost like a shadowy blob with big bulbous eyes, and the accounts, again, not sure. Some claim that it had massive tentacles like an octopus or a squid. Some say that it had rows and rows of sharp pointed teeth behind all the shadow. No one really knows exactly what it looked like. Just all speculation. But you do get a piece in there about the legend of the fallen warrior. There's a name and there's like a couple of question marks put behind it, and it says Mother Lauraloth. Question mark, question mark.
Well, guys, apparently I died a fourth time. That's my grandmother, right? She had that name, or is that my mom? I
That was
can't
your mom's
remember.
name.
Mom's name. Okay. That or had a brother. I don't remember having a brother, do I?
Not that you know of.
Okay.
Interesting.
Down there
What's that?
until he gets down there and finds a brother Drider down there.
Then he dies.
Okay.
Interesting.
So, after your investigations, after the conversations, the exploration, the breaking of sapphires and stealing them, insulting of frog people, etc., etc., there is a loud, what sounds to be like a chorus of trumpets that begin blaring from a large set of double doors that a couple of the guards were standing at. There is the doors sort of fling open, and then there is almost like this parade of blue and white striped dressed frogs marching along with their halberds, their little tiny helmets, all in unison, all very perfect. Their feet kind of kick out real far before they hit down the ground with their big, long, springy legs. They march in 2x2 fashion. There's roughly a dozen of them that start coming into the thing. They begin circling around the ring in the middle. And then there's another bit of the entourage that is carrying this big, large, almost stand, like a cart of some type. They're carrying it. There's two on each side kind of carrying it along. And so where the king he's sitting on top, at least you're assuming that's the king. He has this almost like weird-looking, skinny-looking chef hat with like a big poofy thing on the top. This big, fluffered-out collar, big, huge shoulder pads. He looks like he's sitting in a sort of crouched position, almost like a squatting position, on top of this lavish purple, almost velveteen sort of rug or carpet of some type. They bring his little cart down towards the center of the audience chamber, and you see this little throne start rising up from the little hole in the ground. This throne is decked in gold and silver, big filigrees and elements on it, with, again, a big crushed purple velvet seat cushion, and the back is the same sort of like purple color. The throne looks ridiculously large for how tiny this actual king is. He doesn't even fill half the seat. And he does not physically get up to sit on it. They physically pick him up off of his little cushion thing, and they sit him on it.
Do you think he was taking a shit when they brought him in here?
As
Maybe. PMBM.
as the little entourage with the little cart, they haul it away. The guards file back out. A few more now are at the doors. There's now about 3 or 4 on each door. So the room itself is going to have somewhere between 9 and 12 guards that you can see. You kind of look up, make a perception check.
Not me, I don't. I look up and see like dust falling in my
14?
eyes.
14. That's going to be good enough. You notice that you hear the sounds of wood on stone. There's these little notched spots in the higher up parts of the wall. You're guessing that there's some sort of platform behind them, and you get just the faintest glimpse of frog eyes behind these little things, and you kind of realize that they're like arrow slits. So there are a lot of eyes on you, and you notice that there's about 6 of these arrow slits all the way around the center of this room.
Is a 12 enough to notice?
I would say yeah. Finally, one last person comes to the door, and it's not Polly, as you were kind of hoping it was. Instead, it's this this other frog. He has sort of like... He has more of a toad-like appearance than a frog. He has sort of warts all over the top of his head. His skin color is roughly the same as the other bullywugs. It's sort of this palish, sort of light green color, but the warts seem like out of place, like they're not the right color for his skin, and they're like this dark green and almost black. It almost looks like he has some kind of an infection or something, like he's sick, but you don't really know. Maybe that's normal in bullywug culture. You haven't met a lot of bullywugs. You don't know. He is dressed in this this almost like bard's-like outfit. It's very prim and proper, like a vest with a little suit jacket and tails that kind of come off the back. He kind of gives the vibe of like a bard of some type. He doesn't have a magical instrument or anything or any sort of weaponry on him, but he is wearing a monocle.
So
And he comes in and immediately goes over next to the king, and he kind of leans down. And even though he is not making direct eye contact at your group, he kind of gives you the impression that he doesn't like you. He kind of gives you this... You feel like he's giving you this kind of glinty, evil eye, even though he is just whispering something to the king. He clears his throat after a couple seconds, and his throat puffs out real big. And he goes... Your names, please.
Oh, it comes out like that, or is that how we understand it?
That's how it comes out. That's how you understand it.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
I'm Lizica Vryn.
I'm sorry. In the presence of royalty, we bow.
I bow. I give him the stone cold. Good stunner his ass.
Lizica Vryn. Next. Notice that the king has not said anything yet.
Savannah gives a very... From the books, is curtsying a thing, or is it all
Yes,
down?
for ladies
Okay.
it is.
Very awkward, not really practiced curtsy.
I admire your attempt at mimicking our culture. It is passable.
My apologies for my roughness. I am Savannah. Pleased to meet you.
Well, it looks like at least one of your lot has some manners. Next.
I gotta go next. I just look at him like, well, I'm waiting. You did say you bow before royalty, and I am king of the goblins. So...
Persuasion check.
I kind of give him a little smack on the ass and I'll give him guidance.
D4.
23.
I had no idea that I was in the presence of royalty. Where is your kingdom, sir? I'm sorry, your highness. He says it with sort of contempt.
Do I notice this?
Perception check.
Probably not with the 5.
I would say no.
Well, my kingdom is up top in Ravnica. I, all the goblins up there. We even recruited more on the way down here to this kingdom. So, yes, I have great renown up there. Mastermind. So, I expect a little bit more respect.
He begins to
in your town.
yawn, like doing like a fake yawn, like, I'll play along, Your Majesty. And he gives you this sort of half-assed bow.
Okay.
And what is your name,
Mine-
sire?
My name's Jeremiah.
Inspiration.
I once myself was a bullywog. And I had lots of great friends down here. Way before your time. So,
You're losing them.
I know. Stop. Nobody wants to listen to this toad anyway.
Toad.
Bad idea.
Toady?
I'm a bullywug, sir, not a toad, not a frog.
Then what is up with your face?
I could ask you the same thing.
No. Like the rest of these guys, they have some uniformity to them. You look like an ogre. Use you as a loofah.
What is a loofah?
I don't know. I just made this word up and it sounded great. But I would say it's the sound it makes when your face is rubbing on ogre balls.
Your rudeness is bold. I hope that for your sake, you can back up boldness.
Well, we had heard your king is going to, the 23rd of his namesake, is going to go fight for something big. We're known for our greatness in the fighting skills, and we might be able to help, or sit there and we might be able to give him enhancements to make this fight that much easier for him.
He kind of looks all of you up and down. You, adventurers, slayer of beasts, slayer of unpaid bar tabs, maybe.
Don't have to have unpaid bar tabs when you own your own damn bar.
Aha, so I knew it. You were just common rabble.
No, we hang out with the common people because we are of the common people.
For the people.
For the people, of the people.
Yeah. The people's champ.
A king's place is over his subjects,
No.
not mingling with them.
A poor king, a poor excuse for a king, sits upon his high chair and has
23 other
somebody else speak for him.
He kind of gives you a and his throat pops back out again, and he goes back over and he leans over and he's whispering something in the king's ear again. You notice that the king sort of looks like sleepy. Like maybe he's not really paying attention to anything that's going on.
I'm taking a chance here. Does it look like every time that this guy talks to the king that the king might look sleepier or acts more out of it?
I'd say perception check.
Also, how old does this guy look?
The king?
No, the other guy compared to all the
Do I
other
still
bully
get
walks.
your-
we've seen.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
answer
looks.
just one time.
This particular one, he looks older. Like he has no sort of facial hair to really judge him by, but
Mhm.
his skin just looks a little bit more wrinkly, I guess is the best way to call it. The monocle gives him sort of this not only like distinguished look, but more of an aged look. You're not sure exactly how old he is, but he does look, and he kind of sounds A little bit more mature than the other bullywugs that you have
I wonder how
encountered.
many kings he's been through.
I got a 16.
16. I'm gonna say with a 16, something seems weird. You're not really quite sure how to place it, but something does seem weird about his interactions with the king.
I'm going to.
They took our spellcasting focuses.
This is giving us some Return of the King vibes.
Oh, so we can't cast anything.
No.
Unfortunately
Not
not.
unless it doesn't require a spellcasting focus.
So I think that's what's somatic, right?
Yeah.
And material. So they took our materials and somatic away.
Mhm.
So unless you have just something that's just vocal or not.
Well, there goes
Twitch.
And you, good sir.
I cast dancing
Oh.
lights. Darkness.
That's all right. I was done talking.
We bow.
Of course. And as I bow, when I come back up, Scoffog's in my right hand.
Oh God!
I edge out of the way if they start raining arrows at us. I am.
I
line of
mean no
fire.
harm. And using my spell focus as Scoffog, I will cast Thaumaturgy and make my voice 3 times as loud. I am Chet Gunner, reporter, news writer for Ravnica 1. And I'm here with this group called the Gravy Train, writing the journey, as you can say. But it's great to finally meet maybe a worthy king. Haven't heard your name up in the upstairs region, but I hear in the Underdark you mean something down here.
Dark magic does not impress us. I suggest you summon that weapon back to whatever realm you got it from before you're filled with holes.
Again, I mean no harm. I only used it to be able to speak a little louder, so my king, he may be hard of hearing, he looks a little old. I wanted to make sure he could hear me.
The king does not look old. The king looks like
Sleepy.
he's young.
Yeah, it looks old. He
The
looks
king
sleepy.
actually looks smaller than some of the other bullywugs. He
So
looks,
who's the old guy?
he's like his advisor.
The advisor looks
The guy that
sleepy.
I'm talking to.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll reframe my statement to him. Sorry. But yes, I just wanted to make sure everybody could hear me. One of your guards can gladly take it from me.
They already took it from you.
If they took it, it wouldn't be here.
It's about that time that you kind of see one of the guards over on the other side. He's holding his hand up like this, like giving the sign to not shoot yet.
You're just like,
But, we are in your house, and I am just a mere rider. And you'll see it kind of give it like the old basketball like shuffle where it goes across your chest and then suck back into nothingness.
He goes over and begins whispering in the king's ear again. And you kind of look, and it looks like the king is kind of dozing off while he's talking to him. Like, he looks really bored. Like, he does not care anything that's being said.
Still.
May I ask what you're whispering to your highness?
Oh, I'm an advisor to the king. If it was meant for public ears, I'd say it out loud.
How many kings have you advised?
A few.
And how long have you been advising this king?
Since he was born.
And how long did you advise the previous king?
Since he was born.
And the previous king to that?
I've been a part of the family court for many years.
Wow, and so you've been advising all these kings, all 23 of them?
No, not all 23.
How many of these?
I started my post here during Croakswell the 17th's reign.
So these guys, and I'm looking around with everybody, I'm like, you don't find this funny that he has advised 6 of these kings in his time, and they're all dead. And this probably gonna be number 6 of the lot. Nobody finds that funny. No, nothing suspicious about it, huh? And that we have, Rip Van Winkle up there in the seat. who's just drooling all over himself while, fucking Toady there is licking his ears.
As he's saying all this, I'm laughing my ass off. Like, on the ground, absolutely belly laughing. Kind of like this, like, armadillo fetal position thing. I'm going to resummon Scoffog, and I'm going to cast Zone of Truth.
You're trying to cast a spell in here.
Yes, I'm going to whisper it out. And I'll cast Zone of Truth. So everything in here within a 60-foot circle has to make a charisma check. 14.
As you attempt to cast a Zone of Truth, you see the advisor's hand pop up and cast Counterspell.
I would counterspell if I could, but I can't.
Magic within the king's courtroom is an act of aggression.
It's
This will be your final warning.
So let the king speak for himself. Let him
Your
address
Majesty,
us.
would you like to speak to our guests?
And could you get your hand out of his ass and quit being the puppet master here?
I am an advisor. The king knows my loyalty.
Can I insight check that?
You are strangers.
Yeah.
He does not know you.
Can I insight check that?
Isn't that
guy?
right, Your Majesty? And you see him kind of like bob his head, like, "No, I don't know you."
Oh yeah, I think we'd both insight check at that point.
That sounds like a good idea to me. Ooh, that's pretty good.
Probably better than
The king begins to speak. I admire your
19.
compassion, your bolsterousness. You definitely are travelers of the world. And as you're listening to him talk, like you can see his eyes are just kind of. It's almost like he's having a very hard time staying awake.
What I was going to say, is his advisor look like he's almost using him as a puppet?
His advisor is over in the corner, letting the king, well, more to the side of the throne, kind of just keeping both of his. He has like one arm behind his back and the other one kind of like here, sort of like playing with his collar. He's not really playing with any specific thing. He's just sort of like wiping off dirt.
But is he giving ventriloquist vibes?
You can make a perception check, but
Basically, this advisor's intentions, I guess, towards the king himself. I made an insight check of 18. Does that get me anything?
you sense something weird. You're not sure what, but it's weird.
Okay. I don't
got
like
a
this guy.
8, so I'm assuming I have no idea.
Seems fine.
Everything's
seems
dandy.
He's probably drunk.
Normal kingdom.
My advisor has given me an idea for a proposition, so to speak. You say that you are traveling through the lands, just trying to get through, passing through, meaning no harm to the king, his people, or his lands. I'm willing to let you pass. No harm, no foul. But I would ask that you take care of a small problem for me.
What would that be?
You say that you are good at fighting monsters, killing beasts. My one guard said you killed a dragon. He said, by yourself. That's quite impressive.
His laser eye is pretty impressive.
I don't think this would be nearly as challenging. It's not a dragon. But there is a beast that lurks in the bog. My advisor reminds me that I don't have to personally fight the beast, but it is the king's duty to figure out a way to rid the land of the beast.
Is it your advisor's mom?
The advisor takes off his monocle and he's kind of smiling a little bit, but his smile is very like unamused, and he's wiping off his little monocle.
This is hilarious.
Like the
That's good.
monocle. When he sits there and wipes it, do I see anything about that monocle that might?
Seems magical.
Ooh,
It does sort of give off an aura of magic.
So did they take everything from us?
They took anything that could be used as a potential weapon. They took your spellcasting focus, your materials.
So they took my ball bearings.
They
and
took
all
your
that.
they took your tool bag and ball bearings. Yeah, you have like basic stuff. You have your like the rations that you came in with. You have your canteen, obviously. You have your clothes, all the various clothes. You have bedrolls, things like that. They didn't take her coat, even though I think that they realized that it was probably a bag of holding. They're not stupid, but when they were looking through it, they probably just saw junk and were
Yeah.
like, whatever.
Closest thing is a broken sword.
So, would you be willing to rid my people and my kingdom of this beast of the bog?
We'll need our things back.
That won't be a problem.
Then, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, out of all the things we're good at, that's probably the thing we're best at.
Oh, I don't want to sound rude, but is mercenary offensive?
No.
No.
Would you consider yourselves mercenaries?
We like to be known as, and I look at the wizard, the advisor, and I'm like, we like to be known as toadies. And I wink at him like,
I would be willing to pay as well.
I wouldn't take no for
Do
an
you have
answer.
do you have a rate? I'm not used to hiring.
it looks like you're barely
What
used
did
to
we
being
get for
away.
the last job? Was it 3,000 gold? And that was before we became champions.
Well, that's
true.
probably a good going rate since old King Man hasn't even reproduced yet, and there is no 24th, so he gets to stay alive and be the 23rd for at least a week or so longer.
I think 6,000 gold would do.
And he looks over at the advisor. Is that a lot of money? And the advisor goes, it's a little high. 4,000 gold. Up front.
45.
I'm not the charisma
We
guy over
want
here.
4,000 up front, 1,000 when we're done.
Deal.
All right.
Now this ball creature.
But be warned. Once your material goods and equipment are returned, any hostilities towards the people will be met with equal force.
We have no hate towards the people, just you. And I'm talking to the advisor when I say this.
I can say that the feeling is mutual.
Good. Good.
You
Good.
talk a lot for someone so small.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have. You're right, I do. I wasn't blessed with the big mouth you have. And then I'm like, do this.
Man, too bad you don't have access to vicious mockery right now. Like this guy.
I know
would be,
that's what I want to do.
This guy would be
I
on, he would be on his last limb right now. He would have taken
you
like
can't
40
tell, but
psychic
it looks like
damage.
his face is getting a little bit more like red from anger. So it's hard to tell under all the warts. And then you hear the king speak again. He goes, "Warts," and you realize he's talking to the advisor.
Oh hell no, that's your name is Warts. Damn, you were rubbed against the ogre's balls.
Please, have 5,000 gold withdrawn from the treasury. Give them 4,000 now. Withhold 1,000 for when the task is completed. And
What?
Warts leans down and a huge bow, arm out to the side. As you wish, Your Majesty.
Before you go, where does this ball creature lurk?
That is a good question. We do need to know that.
And what are we looking for?
Any information you have would be useful.
I'm
'cause
not familiar with the creature myself. I have never seen it.
And obviously your kinfolk are not getting back to let you know what it looks like.
There have been reports of what they believe the beast looks like. Some say it is a multi-tentacled beast, like some sort of a octopus or a squid or something.
And how many kings has this beast slain?
22.
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Well, you said all kings must fight for destroy some great creature.
Yes, the Croakswell line. Every king must face a difficult challenge and overcome it in a kingly or heroic way.
Has
The
anybody?
previous ones, since the beginning of my reign, chose valor over brains. I'm hoping that, and he kind of like touches the king on his shoulder a little bit, that this one will learn more from his predecessor's mistakes and use his brain versus his brawn.
So it's the advisor talking the whole damn time, the king. So fucking puppet master.
I mean, you did cast counterspell, so it's kind of magical.
Yeah.
You got to be at least like big blood.
Yeah.
The bog beast, we're not sure. But we hear that it is attracted to loud noises.
Oh, then you should come with us.
I'm looking at these two.
Well, the sooner we hop to it, the better.
They believe that there is a small clearing right before the goblin village where the beast supposedly makes its home. Again, we're not entirely sure, but it is where the deepest waters are.
Okay.
Good thing I don't need to breathe anymore.
We may have already asked this, but do you know where the Tomb of the Fallen Warrior is, by chance?
It's in the middle of the bog.
Have you seen it?
I have.
How close are we?
You are probably 3 miles away, maybe 4.
I appreciate it. So when we get out of here, can you roughly point us that direction before we go?
I would be happy to.
Well, good. And, Your Highness, I'm excited to write the journey for you, so to speak.
I'm excited to see how you fare against the monstrosity.
I think Skriz is going to go, Your Highness, I hope we, well, for our sake, complete this mission for you, collect our money, and as to you, Gentle Wart, I'll see you. I'll see you soon.
I can't wait.
And Skriz turns around and he hops out of the room.
Ribbit.
And yeah, the whole way he's like, brr, brr.
I believe that you have met our associate Polly. She will take care of any need that you have while you are here. The king requests that you dine and rest for your adventure, and since most of the sightings have taken place at nighttime, might I suggest venturing out after dark?
I'm sure that's what your wife says.
This is all the fun stuff we miss when Skriz isn't here. See, I may have casted slow with the Wand of Wonder, but I can't match that.
Your Majesty, we have your lessons. Yes, my lessons. My lessons.
Skriz handled it well. How you're
We,
going.
I'm gonna watch the replay, so I'll see.
Oh,
if
you'll
I'm
enjoy
right.
it.
say we gotta go kill a bog monster.
Easy. We got mercenary deal for it too.
Yeah, we got 4,000 gold up front.
1,000
when we're done. So the next time, if we somehow beat this, we're charging double. We're going 10,000. Because not only are we champions of Ravnica, but we're Slayer of the Great Beast in the Underdark. So we're adding our resume nice. Wait until we defeat 2 gods. Nobody gonna be able to afford us.
I did so well, I got inspiration again.
Yeah,
Not for a good reason.
double inspiration.
The advisor pulls off his monocle again, wipes it on his little jacket,
Oh, yeah.
puts it back on, and he does a sort of clap clap, and the doors open back up. The people come out with a little cart. They lift him back up onto it, and him and the entourage, the rest of the guards, and the last one to leave is actually Warts. And Warts gives a haphazard, very over-dramatic, and very sarcastic bow as he leaves. Good luck. And then he closes the doors behind him.
Thanks.
Me and him are like this.
There have not been very many characters that he has hated. He hates this guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we all do.
Shit.
No, he's not great.
I'm excited to watch the recap.
I mean, his name's Warts.
But we didn't know that until halfway through.
Yeah.
Probably 3/4. And I'd already insulted him 17 times by that point.
It sounds like he really seemed like a, a
Oh,
Warts.
yes. Yes, he didn't like when I called him genital word.
All right. Let's go get our stuff back. I missed my spell book.
Yeah. I need my bracelet.
A few moments later, the doors where you came in from the caged area, they swing back open, and you see your friendly little pink-dressed floofy friend, Polly. Well, I take it everything went well with the king. You're still breathing.
Against all odds.
That's good. That's good. Rocky, how are you?
I'm just happy to be here, ready to kill some demon bog monsters, and yeah,
The water was really good.
Oh, yes, it is. It's enchanted.
It's gentle.
It's enchanted.
Enchanted. Oh, I'm sorry, accents.
Enchanted water.
So, what does the water do?
It heals minor wounds, replenishes your inner strength. It feels as though you have... It can take a person who is completely dehydrated and rehydrate them in just one simple sip.
All because I'm assuming the water came from the showers.
It did not.
It didn't. It just comes from like a faucet.
There's no faucet. There's no like.
Where'd the
plumbing.
water come from?
It's like a stream.
Yeah, the stream
Where's
runs
that at?
through. Just
throughout the
run.
place.
And there's lily pads that float on top of it, like they're
How close
levitating.
are we to the stream?
You don't know.
I've got a
can.
canteen full of it.
Okay, that's what I was gonna do.
Yeah, I was gonna.
It's like right in front of you.
It's the gravy.
It's like down the middle of the hallways.
You don't want to drink.
It definitely purified it.
So,
Well, by that point, the gravy had like turned
does
to
this
dust, and
water
now it's, like,
like
rehydrated.
cure anything else, like poisoning or a disease or any of that stuff as well, or just kind of makes you feel more revitalized?
Well, I'm honestly not sure. We've never tried to use it for anything like that.
Does it make you hate warts less or more?
She looks at you curiously.
And I'm talking about the advisor, not the stuff that grows on your face. Not that you have any.
She says, follow me to your stuff.
Before we roll, can I fill my canteen up with this special here water?
Absolutely.
All
I
right.
might as well drink
Same.
from it. They're saying it's fancy. So.
Yep.
If you drink from it, it grants you 7 temporary hit points. And if you have any levels of exhaustion, it clears those.
Awesome.
Well, sick.
So now thinking,
Are we fully rested?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, we are?
You guys are now fully rested.
Okay.
Oh.
Cool.
now thinking tactically wise, if we wanted to use drink a swig of this during a combat or something, would it be more of a bonus action to do?
It'd be like a potion.
Like a
So-
potion.
Mhm.
It's a bonus action. Okay. Cool.
Braid this way to your stuff. Chop, chop.
That's what I'd like to do to Wart's head.
So she kind of floats along on her little fairy wings. You can hear her kind of ribbiting and croaking a little bit under her breath. You make out the
Secret
occasional word, but even with your little earpieces, it's hard to tell exactly what she's saying. You're led into basically this little back chamber, not far from the area with the well and the cage, and it looks to be some sort of a makeshift armory. There's a bunch of weapon racks and suits of armor and table. There's a couple tables in here with bits of scrap metal and leather and just odds and ends. And all of your materials seem to be piled up on one of the tables. She says, I believe that this is all of your stuff. It should be all accounted for. We have a receipt for it. And she pulls out this little piece of paper that's rolled up in a mini scroll, and she unrolls it, and it's 7 feet long that lists all the different things that you guys had. And this should be all of your things, and if you're missing anything, you let me know.
So Elsman will kind of look at the table. Yeah, I'm missing one thing. I gave it to you guys. Where's my mace? / scepter / axe.
Ignore him. Thank you.
I was watching what was happening in the throne room.
Worth a shot.
Like, good try.
Man, thought they were gonna give me another legendary mace.
And she says, guards, be dears and go fetch our friends some refreshments. Shoo shoo. And they kind of turn and walk out the door and close the door. She goes, well, now that they're gone, warts. What an asshole.
Right?
Yeah. Like an ogre's ass.
I take it you did not get along well with him.
Oh, perfectly. I was on my best behavior as usual.
I don't know what your best behavior is, so I have to take your word for it.
Great. That's the best.
Yeah, that was pretty. Yeah, it's pretty close to his best behavior.
Yes.
So you're going to be taking care of the bog beast.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you're done with that, would you like to take care of warts?
Really?
Hold on, let me think about it. Yes.
We don't just kill anybody.
Yes, we do. It's like line 1 in our resume.
Yeah, I feel like
Is this not the same person who just snapped a scientist's neck
We're trying to
for
get
no
past that.
reason?
We're trying to get
I
past
think when he says that, we're all like,
Yeah, Rocky like leans his beak down a little bit so you can
gotta-
see his eyes
you
over
gotta
his
do that.
glasses, and he's just giving him the glare.
When did you get a beak?
like that
Birdman?
professor that looks at you is like,
Snoop,
Snout.
not my
I
snout,
can't
my
quite
beak.
put my finger on it, but there's just
You got
something
schnauzer.
wicked about warts.
I felt the same thing. Just
Yeah,
from
that's
talking
what
to
it
him.
He has an evil presence. It feels as though he's looking at you all the time, even when his eyes are not gazed upon you. And I've seen what he's done to the previous kings. It's almost like the life has been sucked out of them, the joy has been sucked out of them, and he sent them on this hellbent suicidal mission to fight some monster that they had no chance of actually beating.
Then
Too bad I didn't think about it. Maybe you could have divine sensed it. Maybe he's not what he would. What he
Could I have
seems.
divine sense him retroactively to assess for evil intent, celestial fiend, undead?
Yes,
Ooh.
Ooh, the rewind.
but
Oh.
you sense evil,
Evil.
but that's it.
That's it. Okay. So he's not like a demon or anything in disguise.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
It's good to know.
I had this cousin Melvin. He had warts, and he was a jerk.
Something
does
the
bad
warts do
things
to
to
you.
you. Melvin's not with us any longer.
Or
I'm actually surprised that the advisor advised that you all go deal with the beast. He must think your chances very slim.
that's the impression I got.
Rather, let's get rid of this.
So I thought the king was just, and apologies, I thought he was just drunk. Are you saying that's not the case?
He was not like that when he was young.
is he crippled?
He is not. Well, at least he wasn't. I've basically known him since he was a small tadpole.
So is this like part of the royalty culture or something that's going down?
Well, the royalty is raised by the fairies and
Sure.
until a certain age, and then they are given duties and responsibilities of the king. He had to take up responsibilities much sooner since his father was killed at a very young age. And it wasn't long after his father passed that his mother, bless her, killed herself.
Oh golly.
Must have been Wart's wife.
She was just absolutely devastated at the loss of her husband. They were so in love.
Question. I don't know how your guys' prince hierarchy works here, but if the 23rd does not have a next kin, who becomes active king? Would it be Warts?
Well, it's never happened. I feel like it would probably be given a vote to the people. And since he has been working the most closely with royalty, perhaps?
Yeah, but I think people can be easily persuaded under the right type of magic.
Oh, well, he definitely does use magic.
that was.
situation we got going on.
That's what I said. I said
There
this
is some
this
sort of
too
clause
tough.
within the doctrinization that does state that those who have worked on the council for the longest would probably be in line, should he not have an heir. So that would probably be me or him. But I'm a female. I can't be the king. That sucks. I think I'd make a good king. Not that I want anything to happen to our current king. He's actually a really good boy.
This is a bit of a ghoulish question. My apologies. Do you know how the previous queen died? Obviously of suicide, but the method?
Poison.
Ah. Understood.
She drank a large goblet of poison.
I'm not a particularly trusting person, but I don't think you have to be to
She left a note.
wonder.
She was heartbroken. I don't know why she would have left her son like that, though. Oh well, not for me to know. And I don't really like dwelling on sad things. So, refreshments, food, yes. And then you go deal with this bog beast and then come back and deal with a different kind of beast.
You got gravy?
Sure.
I don't like how confident I was. We might want to
I
pass.
don't believe you.
Don't believe you.
Do you know what gravy is?
Nope.
Can you point me to the kitchen, please? I will whip you up some gravy.
I can, yes.
All right. Y'all kick it back. I need 20 minutes and an apron.
So while Rocky is off doing kitchen things,
How clean is the kitchen?
much like the rest of the kingdom, it's pretty clean.
That would have been an additional 30 minutes.
Dishes are horrendous.
So I will let you discuss anything that you need to discuss. We are going to skip the entirety of the feast portion. We'll just assume that you guys are discussing the plans while you are.
Can I at least roll for gravy?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
What am I rolling?
D100,
We'll
D100.
call it a. You don't have a cooking ability. We'll call it
D100.
Yeah, cooking supplies too.
Let's call it a survival check.
Are we gonna fucking
Is that
die if
for
you
us
make
or
it wrong?
him?
For him.
It's either really good or really bad. 8.
Oh, I thought it was a crit.
No.
Oh,
The crit is.
It's good.
I hate your dice.
Yeah,
It's a low
hard
DC,
to read.
man. You've been making gravy for a while.
You look just like it.
No,
It's,
he's
uh,
been eating gravy for a while.
it's not quite your best batch, but I mean it's good. It's pretty good. It's lacking something. You're not sure. Maybe it's the pepper. There's not a lot of pepper down here.
Oh, you're.
Not a
Uh,
lot
I
of
got you. I
pepper.
see it now.
but I mean it's good. You made do with what you had.
They
We
didn't
got-
have any pepper. I'm sorry.
We got the gold, right? By this point?
Yes, they have brought you the gold.
We'll split evenly, or somebody want to hang on to all?
We're gonna make it hail.
Doesn't matter to me.
I say we just don't even do it. Take
We got
4,000
you
away.
got the bag of holding, don't you?
Yeah, I'll take 4
I
pay.
feel like at this point, we just somebody can hold on to all the gold.
No, let Wort run the town. Who gives a shit?
They just have.
We'll go back up
bits
to
yourself.
Ravnica. He's the leader down here. Fuck it.
Yeah, why do we care about the bully wolves?
Yeah, we just got 4,000 gold. We just call it swindle.
But we'll get more experience to level our
And that's
characters.
probably what he wants is for us to just take the money and run.
They're not the bookkeepers.
Well, we did give them our word. I mean, I think it's only right.
Oh, you're right,
Take care of
Rocky.
their issues.
That we gave him the word.
We could also gain some, well, I don't know how
XP?
powerful, but some allies,
Well, plus, let me put
depending
it.
on who's
Nobody likes
ruling.
us.
Let me put it to you this way: you don't get to kill Warts if you don't kill the bog monster.
It's
Yep.
true.
Right?
Chris is like, I'm in.
All right, you sold me. That's all you gotta say.
I was just kidding, Rocky.
Persuasion
We were
check
not-
not needed.
That's what
I'm
I'm,
in.
that's what I'm
You
saying. I just
bypassed
wanted
the
to
the
make sure we
DC,
were on the
DC
same
went to
page.
zero.
Put it this way, cuz.
DC was a 25. Now it's a 0.
Now it's a 0.
I need convincing.
Yeah, you don't want to be like Melvin. Ooh.
Good, my persuasion's -1. So.
Oh, by the way, my name is Jeremiah. If anybody asks.
And I'm I'm Chet Gunner. I'm actually just a reporter for you guys. I'm kind of like a war writer.
Oh, for Ravnica News at 1?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I've seen Ravnica News at 1. That's
Yep.
on our TikTok.
All right, so
It's canon.
you asked them to point the direction out to that tomb. Or do you think we should go there first and get that hammer?
No.
Or do you think we should just head to the?
We find out where it's at. We found out where the tomb is. And we go kill the bullywug. It might be in the same spot, or not bullywug, but
the beast.
Balrog.
Might be close to each other. I don't know.
Balrog.
All right. I guess
I'm hitting
Okay.
him
Just
two
about
shot
ready to
bastard.
So
Starting now.
the general direction that you have and where they believe that the beast might be lurking is in the deepest watered parts of the Blight Bog. It's right on the outskirts of the Goblin Village, the Blight Bog Village. That you guys saw their camp, their hunting camp, but they headed towards their village to pack up and leave. According to the maps that you saw, it's sort of to the more to the east, not deep east, but it's to the east. Even on the map, there's what looks to be like a pretty large pond area. It almost looks like a lake or a pond, but there is a lot of wet land around it. So you have a general idea of where you might be heading, and you also can head into the Goblin Village if you need to.
Is that an initial goblin, just that little tiny camp?
That's just their hunting camp.
Is that on the way?
No.
Just curious.
It's probably for the best since the giants are going
That's
to come
fair.
that way.
Yeah.
So, you're waiting until sundown? Well, you don't know when sundown is.
Not
but
exactly.
Did
They
we
could
have a
even
time
have-
frame that we had to wait till sundown? or
They said
something?
that the beast seems to lurk late at night. They think. That's when most of the sightings have been seen.
Doesn't he have pocket watch?
Do you
Hmm?
have
Yeah,
that
that pocket
watch?
watch.
This motherfucker's Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, I do have the pocket
We're gonna
watch
catch
that
him
was
like
given
this.
to me.
Yeah. So you can tell time.
I'm like,
That's pretty cool.
I got it. I'm like, yeah, it's close enough to me.
All right. So the sky above, as you exit the main palace doors, you get a better look of the castle itself, and it's a pretty well built, pretty large castle. There's spires in the front, drawbridge in the front, parapets. It looks like it could withstand a pretty modest attack from the outside. It wouldn't be something that you could just walk through the front doors and with one guy. You have to put some effort into it, some ballista. You'd need more than a couple guys to come in and take this castle over. You see a lot of guards posted at the tops of the towers, and a few walking along the walls on the top, just doing normal guard things. You're not sure exactly how many guards are in this castle, but you assume it's a lot. Probably a very small army worth of guards. Estimating maybe a couple hundred at the least of just various different armed and trained bullywugs. So as the drawbridge lowers and lets you out, you get another good glimpse of the nighttime sky, and the sky itself still seems to have that same enchanted look to it that seems like you're outside. You see the stars and clouds above, realizing that this is an enchantment spell to make it look like the outside. You guys already did the Arcana check to know that. So you do see bits and traces of the moon, and the moon is not quite full, but very close to being full. And it shines sort of an eerie light as the temperature is a little bit lower. Even down in the Underdark, it emulates the temperature changes a little bit. At nighttime, it gets a little colder. Not noticeably, but there is mist and steam and fog coming off of the bogs. The bog itself is sloppy and wet, and all the lands around the castle are basically just muddy. There's very few dry spots. Everything it's just like marching through mud. With no clear roads or pathways, We have 2 juveniles down there. It's fine.
What? It wasn't even me. It's you two laughing, and I just got the giggle. It's like a giggle virus went around here.
Sloppy and wet, no dry spots.
This sounds like me after
Oh my
Taco Bell
God.
night.
Also true. Very diaphoretic.
And we're back.
Jess is like,
The giggles didn't go that way. They just went the other way.
He looked at me. It's his fault.
He
What,
started
motherfucker
laughing.
can't look at you?
I mean, he looked directly at me and winked. I was like, "Whoa, Bill, we're still on
I
air."
go.
No one can see you. Your camera's not on.
Yeah.
Shh. Anyway,
carry on.
My way was
so we're not in a bog anymore. It's just a desert. How about that? No, it's just a desert
Dry,
as far as the
nothing
eye
else.
can see.
Oh my god.
Anyway, as you move further east, the mud gets a little thicker, the waters get a little deeper, and before long you're back up in almost knee-high water and sludge. There are various bits of wildlife and plants. You hear frogs, but now that you have been around the bullywugs, you know this is not bullywugs communicating. This is actual frogs and toads out in the nighttime.
Did they take back the ear things?
They left them with you.
Ooh, we still have those. Okay.
Quick thing, prep thing. When we were resting, I changed Tinsel from a house cat back into a night.
Benji's still a fox.
Okay.
She fly over stuff.
So, where you believe is the area where the lake or the pond begins. There's a thick brushet of rotted out trees on the west bank, and you kind of see smoke and stuff billowing. It's probably a few miles away. You assume that it's probably from the Goblin Village. But you think that you're in the spot where the waters are the deepest. What would you like to do?
Well, first, I'd like to look at these 3 and kind of prepare a spell. I'm going to cast Aid on you guys. So, your max, I'm doing this 4th level, so your maxed HP goes up by 15.
Ooh.
This is non-concentration, just
So
less.
it's temporary?
It's maximum.
Oh,
So it
max.
brings up your max. This is 8 hours. If I go down, still stays up.
And then
It's
if
not
you drink the
concentration or
water, you
anything.
got 7 temp.
I got the 7 right there.
Just to help.
So,
Tanks and things
Liz,
stay
thinking
up.
about these little earrings that we got, you think it'd be feasible for someone to put that comprehend language spell in one of these doohickeys so you can always wear it and know what people are saying?
I'm not sure. Maybe. Maybe we could ask somebody on the surface when we get back there.
I feel like
I'm
it'd
not
be-
sure if these just work between us and Bullywugs or what. I mean,
Well, I mean, I don't know lots about magic. It just kind of happens for me. But I feel like there's some specific magic that does it for the bullywugs, and maybe we can make a broad one. I think that'd be helpful.
maybe. Yeah.
We got 4,000 gold.
We do have a lot of money right now. That's a decent amount.
So, serious question before we get started.
I've got one too.
Have you ever eaten frog legs?
Yes.
Because I haven't,
Really?
but I'm gonna eat the fuck out of them after this mission's over.
Well, they got warts on them though,
Oh,
like Melvin.
So
that's texture. You gotta have the texture to
That's
it.
the wrong kind
As
of
you're
texture.
kind of having this conversation and kind of looking about to see if you can notice anything in the darkness,
Somebody's trying to
you
get
hear
comeback
what
going.
sounds like faint chanting and the sound of drums off in the distance.
Shark bait. Ooh-ah-ha.
does
Off
it,
in the distance. So,
Not far from where you're at, but not right on top of you.
I want to take one of the ball bearings I have, and I want to take it like a little flat rock, and I'm gonna walk towards the edge of the water, and I want to just skip it across it across the deepest part of it, just see if I can maybe trigger something that's. Be ready, and I turn around and be ready, like sling that ball bearing just to try to skip it across the water.
Make a dexterity check. We'll see how well the rock skips.
Which one do I want? green. Green for the damn frogs almost smash.
Get the tiny guidance
Well, we were
I can't believe he hates the bullywugs.
There's
I mean, he fucking hates these guys.
Oh my goodness.
While we were
22,
prepping, I put major
28.
That's a 4.
This thing goes hop,
Yeah,
hop,
22,
hop,
but
I
then
gotcha,
plus
I
my
gotcha.
dexterity.
Oh, you
Uh,
just said 2.
it goes gliding across almost like an ice skater on ice, just and you really got some
Here, frog on the other side.
stank behind it. You hear what sounds like it collided into a rock or something clear on the other side of the bank. You're not quite sure, but you think that's what it did.
About how far
and
away
then you
is
hear
that?
what sounds like scattering. It sounds like sounds of many footprints or for like many footsteps way off on the far end of the pond scatter off in different directions.
When it collides, do we hear something that sounds like this?
Exactly.
No.
It's warts over there.
How far away is the other side of the bank?
The other bank from where you're standing is probably 75 to 100 feet.
Not gonna lie, that was the first time I've ever done that.
I will
was a good one.
shapeshift into a bullywug.
Okay. What does your bullywug look like?
Looks almost like warts, but 2 more warts than what warts had.
Man, you guys hate that guy.
A little bit.
You're
I wish
And-
I was
I
here.
haven't made too many NPCs that you guys hate.
I don't know if there's any sticks near. Are there any sticks near?
Perception check.
Yay. Yeah, that's not very good. I think my perception's not
It's a
that
fucking swamp. There's sticks everywhere. There's sticks in the mud.
Like 12?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll find a little twig, and I'll start to like kind of bend it and warp it into a little monocle. And I'll stick it on my eye. Man, that's all it took to get a battle map out of you?
As soon as you do that,
The fucking warts is coming out. Fuck.
the worst comes out from the.
I feel like I woke up to you and I'm like, God, I've never wanted to slap you more in my life.
Are you
No,
sure?
no more than usual, but like just a teensy bit more than usual.
Liz, do you have that water walking spell? Damn.
Unfortunately,
That's all
not
right.
water
Don't
walking.
move. I'm gonna
That
move
would
it.
be pretty handy in a situation, though.
Battle map.
I feel like we've seen this before.
This battle cam is brought to you by Season 3 of Lost.
Lost.
So you have all approached from here on this side.
Where's your manny at? Has it got painted yet?
Heck no.
I'll just stand
My
back
name
here.
for my new guy.
For your new guy.
Yeah, I plan on dying tonight.
If you stay in warts form, yes you
Plan
are.
on dying and come back as an
I
elfin
will
robot.
kill 2 warts in one night.
Don't.
I
don't
got
worry.
warts remover in my pocket.
He's coming back as an elven robot.
He's got biofreeze.
You know,
I am Elvin.
Nevada has
I am
refrained
Elvin.
from suggesting that we just kill Elvin, but that might push her over the edge.
Jesus. Did the pin I gave you die?
It just was writing really weird. It was like giving out every third letter, so I got another one.
I just bought brand new ones. S gel Sharpie pens. Like nice and smooth. Like fuck you. Real smooth.
Like, how big is the tip on it? Like, I
It's
like.
kind of a big tip.
No, I gotta have a pointy tip on mine.
What?
But it's
That does have a
short
point.
tip.
No, it's gotta be a pointy.
That
tip.
is a pointy,
Let me see
pointy
it.
tip.
Is it 0.7 millimeters?
It's an S gel pen. That is the Cadillac of pens.
Whatever. Cadillac my ass.
Like a shitty Cadillac.
Oh my
maybe.
god, look how beautiful you're writing.
It's in red, but it's pretty sweet. I like that.
I have blue and black. Would you like a blue or
So-
black one?
Alright, I'll take one.
Would you like a blue or black?
No, I got one right here. This
Dealer's
is what
choice.
this is. The pen.
It's not an S gel pen though.
You can.
Look how ugly that looks.
Oh, it looks
It looks-
fantastic.
It looks like it's not filling up the space correctly.
You know what?
Like it looks
These
like
are the only pens I buy now because they're so great.
that's why you suck as a bard. You buy shitty pens and cast shitty spells. And what the fuck is that thing? Or is it just a tree?
It's the tree end.
That's the genital wart coming off the.
Nice bush.
Gosh.
We're fucking done tonight.
What?
Great.
You can buy that at your local Meijer.
Or PetSmart.
Have a fish or D&D tree.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah.
I'm not giving him shit.
Yeah, it sounded like he was giving me shit.
I
kinda
said,
did.
I said you had a nice bush, and you got all upset.
It sounded like he was giving me shit. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I got a
That's a big bush.
I feel like the last time we encountered these bushes, I got petrified.
Oh,
The last time we
I
kind of
wouldn't do that again.
last time we cut these bushes, wasn't that the maze?
Blue, black, or red?
Maze where you kept going in circles.
It's a rogue. It was the only
It's
one.
a rogue.
Is that what it says?
It says human rogue. Sorry.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I didn't.
We need to distinguish.
I picked it mostly because it had the big coat
Makes sense.
until I had the other one. ready.
Wizards are proficient in daggers. One of the 3 weapons they're proficient.
Oh, you're
I
just
do
giving it
have
back.
Dagger. I
Just
don't use it, but I
I
have one.
have a dagger
Whatever.
too. I don't use it.
It was pissing me off.
take the tip off.
whatever. Just take the tip.
Yep.
Just the tip of it.
All right.
It's like
My
a
pen's not good.
circumcision.
Why are you gonna do it on the table?
You're not quite in battle yet.
Yeah, don't put your tip on the table. Jesus.
We're gonna get rated R. This is why we can't stream on TikTok live. Gotta be child.
Haven't we
free.
done that twice?
Yeah.
Why are we doing it today?
I wasn't here.
Whose fault is that?
My dogs. But
I understand.
I like my dog.
Your dog
Unlike
likes me.
you. I love you. I like you.
I was about to. I thought you were about to say Bill doesn't like his dog. I'm like,
My dog is my baby. My dog there.
That's my Snoop D-O double G.
Mm-hmm. We was taking a nap on the couch today, you know, before you do on Wednesdays. And she fucking aimed her ass at me and ripped one. And I was like, Mar, you got a cannon aimed right at my face here. I'm going to get pink eye. And she looks back. Did you have
be like, don't you like the taste of my ass as much as I do? And she turns.
Yep. And she tossed her own salad.
Well, my cat and my dog are starting to co-op. So the cat goes up there and knocks shit off the counter for the dog to fucking eat.
Oh my gosh.
And then the cat gets blamed for it. Because she started it, he wouldn't have got up there. He
And
doesn't.
that's
He
why my
won't jump
dog-
on the counter and grab anything. But if it's knocked on the floor, it's free game.
Yeah.
Free game.
Jinx.
That's how my dog got diabetes.
Yes, because they were chocolate chip muffins,
Oh no.
Were they good
Oh,
muffins?
and he didn't get the Schlitz either.
Well, that's good.
He's all right.
My dog ate a bunch of onions the other day from a
Oh.
McDonald's bag. Apparently, onions are supposed to be real poisonous for dogs, so I was freaking out a little bit. But
What,
that
the
was
same
like,
with chocolate.
yeah, chocolate too.
But then I'm like, wow, they're off-brand muffins, so they're probably not real chocolate.
No, so with chocolate, funny thing about that is, because Maggie made monster cookies, Oreo, chocolate chip cookies, 3 other types of cookies, all made into one. Chocolate and Oreos, a dog can eat a whole box of the family size Oreo box and still not be enough to even make it even slightly toxic because there's not enough actual real chocolate in those things.
It sounds like you've done an experiment.
Yeah, she ate like 6 of those monster cookies and she was fine. She didn't even shit.
Yes. So Murphy ate a dozen of the small chocolate muffins, and Michelle's like, he ate all that chocolate. I'm like, those are like fake chocolate. I was like, it's
Yeah.
probably like mostly just milk with like a little bit of
Probably
cocoa
won't find,
powder in it.
Probably
like
won't
some
find
coloring.
chocolate on
Yeah.
the ingredients list there anyway.
Yeah, it's way down there.
0.0%.
Are we ready?
Oh, we were
Okay.
just killing dead time talking about chocolate and our dogs.
And they're assholes.
Wait till they get the peanut butter. What?
My dog doesn't like peanut butter anymore because I gave her so many pills in it.
I
So
don't.
she's like,
Wait,
"Fuck peanut
I wish
butter."
at that point we'd have lost. And it's just like my dog don't like peanut butter anymore because We lost connection. Everybody on the other is like,
Dead
what?
air.
What?
How am I gonna go to bed tonight?
Why does his dog does not like peanut? Then they just have their own stories. What's Bill doing with that peanut butter that his dog hates it so much?
Well, I'll tell you. I give her a lot of pills with it, and it gets stuck to the roof of her mouth. And then the pills are just there, and then she vomits.
Oh, poor
You just
pupper.
give her a lot of pills. I'm doing quotation marks. Pills. Whatever, perv. Turn you into PETA.
We don't have that kind of relationship.
Pita bread.
It sounds like you do because she shits in your face.
She doesn't respect me.
Wonder why. Probably because you get her off-brand peanut butter.
It is
what do you-
Kroger brand. What am I gonna buy her Jif?
Then you don't
cheap
love your
mother-
dog.
You cheap motherfucker. My dog gets extra crunchy peanut butter Jif.
My bad.
That's probably why I'm cleaning up shit. But
Damn.
Touche.
That's why my dog has
so
diabetes.
are you marking this down as all cutout time?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You shouldn't. This is
What?
This
No,
is
I'm
really
not.
important stuff that needs to stay in the podcast
Oh,
version of our
yeah.
show, which you can catch on Spotify.
Yeah.
Look us up on Spotify, Initiative Syndicate.
Initiative
We're also on YouTube.
Syndicate.
You can
We're
find us
also
there too.
I do actually. By the way, kind of cool fact, because I looked at our thing today, because I was giving it to 2 people at work. We have 10 5-star reviews on Spotify.
Wow. 10? That's crazy.
I didn't even give us one.
I do.
That's not even one for me.
Yeah, that's not, I don't think
I
any
don't
of
even
those
follow us
Say
on
who they're
Spotify.
from.
I do.
If I
I
go
didn't
on
even
the
before I joined.
RSS feed, it would tell me who it's from, but
I
don't
didn't know that
I
was
don't know
you
any
could
of
rate on Spotify
All right,
podcasts.
go ahead and
That's
roll
kinda
for
cool.
initiative. Let's just do that shit. You guys are gonna fight when everything's here. You guys don't care.
That's fair.
But we were gonna catch Fish's mockery first.
Yeah, of course. Every fucking roll tonight has been 14 or above.
You want to blow
And
him?
now, what?
Oh, sorry.
And now for initiative, I rolled a 1.
Hey, guess what I got? 20. High five.
You got 22?
I got
20 as well?
20 as well.
Slap hands.
Is that with a TW?
I guess the bard shouldn't be the first one to
that
get it
with the-
anyway.
No, because you got to heal.
I wasn't sure if it was the
You gotta
14 or
support
not.
Yeah,
me.
God forbid the
Like,
fucking
14
cleric
and
knew
19 are
that.
the exact same in this
Yeah,
guy, so
cleric?
be careful. Huh? What?
He's like half a cleric.
So am I.
I'm less than half a cleric. I think I'm a
Me
third
too.
cleric.
I'm 6 and 5. That would be less than half.
I'm 3 and 8.
Be definitely not a cleric is tired of playing cleric.
Yeah, and I'm a bard. And then
But
I'm
I
a
feel
healer.
like being
And
cleric.
sing songs. So sing for me, monkey.
Anyway, Elvin, what would you get?
20.
What's your
Liz,
20.
How could this?
whose dex is higher?
12?
We're tied.
Oh, we're tied.
Rollies. We never rollie. 20.
18?
Oh.
Is it actually 20?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Babe
That's
Ruth
so-
over here.
That's so cool.
Nevada,
Hey, you burned them all.
16.
Burned them all.
Rocky,
17.
Skriz.
5.
Don't
Oops, look at your turn.
chasing water.
Yeah, I had a 1. Good thing I have a +4 on initiative.
No, +4?
Yes.
From what?
Dexterity.
All right, top of the round.
Yeah.
We
That's
going in
just a-
reverse
Wait,
order?
what are we fighting?
You never know.
In the middle of this weird structure, you
fucking
find
wards.
a. It looks like some type of a caster
Oh no.
shaman.
Uh-oh.
Bullywug is hanging out in the middle of this like cool little structure. He fit in there at home. Now he does not want to fit. You know what? Just be up on the top.
Do you hear what he said?
That's where he's gonna hang out. He's just gonna stand in front,
said
guys.
He said it fit at home. It doesn't fit now.
The frog is. I'm gonna put the other guys on the map.
Did you paint that?
Look at that. fucking-
No, I didn't.
Looks awesome.
He painted the bushes. What are you laughing about?
Stupid. I don't even know why I talk to you anymore.
That's a lot, lizard.
Ah.
Truck driver pulls up. Damn, look at the mouth on that one.
Get in there nice and deep.
I
Like.
know frog is.
I'm not close enough to counterspell.
Yeah, I
Wait,
was
what did-
also counting the same thing.
Well, you
I
can
think it's only 60 feet.
What are
right?
you guys?
vortex warp.
You're a cleric wizard, and you say I'm not close enough for counterspell. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm counterspelling. I don't have it yet, but I'm gonna do it. What the? You know we're off air at 10:30. We need easier combat.
We've stopped in the middle of combat before.
We'll be fine.
Let's see.
I'm gonna smite some motherfuckers tonight.
Staff bullywug.
The one the bullywug that's wearing like the weird ceremonial headdress that you see down at the end is holding out this stick made from various bits of wood, bone, and scrap, and it's shaking it around. It sounds like it's got like it's hollow inside, almost like it's a rattle of some type. And he immediately casts a spell that makes fog go across the top, obscuring vision. That is his. That's his action. So right now you are not able to see anything within 20 feet of you.
So he can't. Wait, where exactly did he cast it?
He cast it in the middle of the pond.
In the middle of the pond. And
Yep.
it's a 20-foot radius?
No, you can't see anything beyond 20 feet in front of you.
Oh, I got you.
But how high up is it?
So,
I didn't get any of them.
It's sort of an environmental effect.
okay. So it just put like a fog around this entire area. And, okay.
That's his turn. Next up is Elvin.
So Elvin, a little scared, because he can't see with
That's a
his
pretty cool battle map.
yeah.
Pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
I like
Very
it.
cool. Very cool.
frog map. That wouldn't work because this game's stupid.
Apologies, I was taking
Cast black lightning
pictures.
bolt.
How far can we see?
Sure.
You can only see about 20 feet in front of you clearly.
Got it.
So we don't really even see those guys. on
You
the
saw
outside.
them before he cast the spell.
Okay.
Oh God. Okay, fine. You know what? I'm upset. I'm not happy about this. So I will, take off my backpack, shake out Harvey, all the bits and pieces of him, and I'll do summon undead.
Nice.
And I'll start slow walking, like kind of crouch walking into the mist, and I'll move up 30 feet.
Are you
with
going into the water?
Yes.
Okay, so how
I have
deep is
time
the
to
water?
drive home and grab a beer by the time I'm up.
So how deep is the water, and then is it considered difficult terrain deep?
It is considered difficult terrain. The water is submersible. It's at least
So
15
you have to be
foot deep.
swimming.
Oh.
Oh shit. Oh, let me cast my wings.
There you go.
I'm
How far can you
I think
go
I
with
do.
wings?
same as my movement, 35
Okay.
feet.
Maybe I don't have prepared.
35.
Yeah. No, I don't. And
Where
Oh
was,
shit!
the-
I am not the
you guys wanted
last.
the,
You have lots of time to think about what you want to do on your turn,
Yes.
Jesus. Does this say Greg?
though. Grung.
it's Gus.
Good guy.
At least,
So with
at least
that,
there are any slots.
with that being said,
I hate those guys.
okay. So I'm going to, because summon undead's full action. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Pulling out Harvey.
Yep. So if anything gets within 10 feet of Harvey, they have to make a wisdom saving throw or be frightened. Where do you put Harvey? Harvey's going to be right. Harvey's going to actually stand beside my lover, Skriz.
Nice.
And
What a unit.
I'll have Harvey just follow Skriz wherever he goes.
Okay.
Protector.
Bonus action.
Bonus action, I'll cast Spiritual Weapon.
Nice.
I'll throw its. I don't know where they're at.
You can't cast spiritual weapon
Why?
because you cast summon undead this turn.
That's an action.
Oh, it's an action of your weapon. Yeah, you can cast spiritual weapon.
Yeah. I don't gain vision, right? With spiritual weapon, like it's not like if I threw it over here 60 feet.
No, you
No,
can't
it
see
kind of like can act on its own, I guess.
Okay.
It just attacks shit.
So I will take my spiritual weapon and just absolutely chuck it all the way across. The hand just goes flying. Trying to throw it 60 feet. And hopefully once I get close enough, I'll be able to see it. So I'm just throwing it 60 feet forward.
Oh, it'll hit this thing. And then fall down.
And yeah, you just see this like hand go flying across through the fog. Anybody that's within, I lose all sight of it. But when it lands, it's just kind of like perched up.
Okay.
And that's all for me.
All right. Next up
I can't
is
see, so I wouldn't know. to be able to
Lizica.
attack.
You're up.
Okay.
Wait, would that work? Like if I swung?
You can't even see where you're placing it, so
That's
no.
kind of what I was thinking.
You have to be able to see it.
Okay, cool. Then don't remember.
I'm up.
Yep.
So him disappear in the mist.
I'll go ahead and cast Bless at second level. So that will affect everybody here except for Elvin because he went too far out. So just fine because we have 4 plus tokens.
So it gives us a plus.
Plus D4 to I'll read the exact wording.
Wow, he's becoming
a second.
Attack rolls, ability checks.
Now
and
just don't
saving
heal and you're
throws.
Yes. So that yeah, what he said. So
Attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks.
yes.
Pretty much.
It's
Plus a
actually
D4.
it's only attack rolls and saving throws. Actually, not build checks.
Oh,
That's
good to
only
know.
guidance. So yes. So for all of your attack rolls and saving throws, you have a D4.
Is that it from you, Liz?
Believe so.
Put your base.
I'm
on
gonna
top of
move
it.
over here because I know they got spellcaster. Don't want him to AoE this.
It won't fit.
I made it fit.
Okay. Yep.
From the top of the spire where the one bullywug was sitting, you hear the sounds of. It sounds like a really deep-throated croaking and ribbiting noise, and then you hear what sounds like a drum being smacked. That's his action. Rocky, you're up.
So this boulder right here,
Mhm.
I like that boulder.
It is above the surface of the water.
It's a nice boulder. Can I
nice
try and jump to it? I forget jump distance.
It's
15 feet is jump.
It's something times your strength.
My strength is 19.
Let me see. It's on the thing here.
Should be on here too. Jump.
I'm just gonna say athletics check. I don't think that that's unreasonable for you to be able to maybe take a leap and try to get that far.
Oh, fuck.
He goes and his hoof
11.
gets stuck in the mud.
It's a pretty low DC. Yeah, I'll say that you make it, but you are not upright. You kind of like you make it to the rock, but you're like half in the water and half on the rock.
Okay, does that count as 15 feet of movement, or
Yeah.
does it count as an action?
I would say that would count as like half of your movement.
Half of my movement.
It would take the rest of your movement to stand up.
Well, that's balls. Well, I stand up for the rest of my movement, and then
Oh well, I guess Elvin's dead.
Elvin's dead. He fell in the water. No.
I can't swim.
His wings don't work when they get
My
wet.
dad never taught me.
Well, maybe they just didn't remember.
do I see this guy over here?
You can only see 20 feet in front of you, roughly. You see a shape. You think it's in the roundabout area, and you remember there was a frog there.
Okay.
You can make the attack, but it would be at disadvantage.
So what I want to do, I want to use my action to dash, I guess, and I want to, as part of my dash, try to jump again 15 feet.
But since you're not trying to land in a specific spot,
I'm just
it's just
fucking
it's just
yeeting
dash.
it. Okay. And since I jumped part of the way, can I say I moved 5 more than
15 feet's pretty far.
with the jump and my whole dash?
Rocky was long jump champion in high school.
Normal. It says here normal long
Replica
jump's
high.
just whatever your strength score is.
Just whatever your strength score is. So what is your strength score?
19.
So I'll give you one more square.
Cool.
I'm gonna be a kind DM.
What a guy.
Anything else from you, Rocky?
No.
All right. Next up is
Well, I guess I can see this guy now.
Did you dash?
Yeah. Oh.
Navenna.
So since I dashed, I'm gonna wink at Elvin
Oh yeah, that's right. You get
when
your
I
full
started
sword.
my dash, so I can allow him to.
Is
use...
Elvin within 20 feet of your view?
He
5,
was
10,
when I was
15.
over
Yep.
here.
Yep.
Okay.
So you'll see Elvin giving it the old Superman.
So that just lets you go another 30.
I don't see Elvin do
35.
shit. I see a
35.
bullywug.
I take it back.
And I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, shit,
Yeah,
what
as
are
you
the
approach,
bullywugs?
you see all the guys there. You're like, oh, this sucks.
Oh, now they have something to attack. Yes. At least you got 15 extra.
Navenna, you're up.
All right.
It
If I
smells so
wanted
good.
to.
Skriz, you were after several frogs and a giant frog.
You know, he
So
sounded like
you got some time to think about it.
And then we go pee. I'm gonna run home real quick. I'll be back.
If
He's
I,
like, one wonder.
if I want to attempt to talk
Don't worry, I'll
to this
cast
thing,
one
would that
for
be
you.
an action, brief conversation, or bonus action?
Yeah.
Depends on who
just
you're
use
trying to
the
talk to.
refrigerator.
I'm trying to shout at the main guy.
I may have
Okay.
some water in there.
Depends on what you wanna say.
I've been a lazy bitch.
Do you at least have the decency to tell us your name?
If you want an ice drink, they're out in the fridge.
You hear a throaty gurgle. It's not polite to talk to the food.
Really? This doesn't seem all that polite either.
Caffeine free.
And then I'm just gonna take my turn.
Okay.
So I don't want to waste the whole thing. And then I'm going to
Run.
here.
Run away.
Not yet.
I know.
She says, and I run. I use my action to
In a little
dash
bit.
off the map. Good luck, guys.
Good
Yeah.
luck. They can't see. We can't see.
At
it.
least one time, I want us all to be in our pockets, and she just carries us around, and then we just all jump out of them like a clown car.
At some point, it's gonna happen. Okay.
It's canon.
So I am going to, I think, 4th level cast Enhanced Familiar on Tinsel.
Okay.
So I'll need my Giant Eagle. And
Nice.
duration 1 hour, and because it's 4th level, it does not require concentration.
All right, so you see, well, not really. You hear the sounds of a small bird flapping its wings, thus become a very large bird flapping its wings.
Then I am going to not be grouped up and run away. And then for Tinsel's turn, she is going to fly. I think her fly speed is 80. Well, I was going to give offer to give Skriz a lift, but he stepped out for a
I think
second.
he's. Right there. Yeah, I was about to say. I think he's right there.
Do you want a lift?
Well, of course I do.
Okay.
All right, Tinsel is going to fly over, grab Skriz.
What's Harvey gonna do now? Nobody took
Suck it, Harvey.
Harvey tries to climb on.
You just see Harvey, like, claw picks it up and just rips him in half.
Just leaves half of them behind.
So this can go.
We can break through the fog, and I'm like, oh shit! Who's in that fog?
I'm gonna be about right here, and we're about 10 feet up, trying to make sure that Skriz can actually see everything if he wants to do anything.
Oh,
Fall.
it's all right. We'll just.
fuck.
We know he's in there.
Yeah.
Wait. I got this.
And that is my turn.
All right. From the other pillar, you hear another throaty, rumbling, croaking noise, and you hear the sound of another drum beating in harmony with the previous drum. That is his turn. The
I don't know if we want to get close to the water, guys.
That's why I'm trying to get out of the water.
I was gonna use it.
Fucking Harvey starts
Should've gone
walking
before
through the
me.
water towards me.
Yeah, you should get a higher initiative. That's your fault.
I'm a wizard.
That's fair.
Yo,
Without
wizard
excuse.
Nevena.
Yo, where's that Debbie?
the small grung in front of Elvin.
The one on the ground?
Yep.
Oh, the one all the way down there. Okay.
It pulls out a spear and throws it at Elvin.
Disadvantage. Because my cloak.
Cloak of Displacer.
And
Nice.
it's going to be a miss.
Yay.
Um,
I'm so
since you're not really engaged with it, it's going to jump into the water and move. It actually does not. It's not difficult terrain for it. It's going to move its full 30 feet out into the water, towards the land over there.
30.
Yep, he's done. He's submerged.
Okay.
Next up is the giant frog on Rocky's side. It kind of can sense the outline of you. It's going to leap at you and make an attack.
Gonna lick you. What's its is it 5 feet?
Its movement.
Or I mean its threat range.
It's reach.
Reach.
What? Which?
Frog
which
on that
is
side.
swim?
The frog, giant frog,
Where are you at on this?
right here.
The one before it's the yellow one.
He already went. It's I don't have them in the right order clearly.
Oh, that's what
So
threw
it should
me
be
off.
Navena, yellow frog. This is not supposed to be here.
Okay, that's what was throwing me off.
Should be Grom,
There we go. Okay.
then giant toad.
Then giant toad.
That thing can jump like 20 feet.
Okay. Okay. It's just gonna go with 5 feet.
It can jump
Rocky.
10 feet with or without a running start.
It's just gonna get within 5 feet of Rocky.
Yep.
Okie dokie.
It's going to make a bite attack at Rocky. The fog has made it hard to see, but now you guys are within 20 feet of each other. You can see each other. Got a 21 to hit.
Just hits.
So you see this thing like open up its mouth and attempt to bite you. It's going to be 8 points of piercing damage, and you are grappled. While you're grappled, you're restrained, and the frog can't bite anyone else.
Cool.
That is his turn. Small little frog guy over here. He makes that same sort of croaking, rumbling noise and begins beating on a drum in unison with the others. That's his turn. Frogman over here does the exact same thing, croaking, begins beating on another drum. The sound of four simultaneous drums are beating at the same time, and with all their constant rumbling and croaking, it's kind of creepy. Skriznet, you're up.
We know it's about to happen.
Man, I love tribe music.
So,
You should be within range of at least the big thing.
Yeah, you can see these two. 10, 15.
all right.
You can see that guy too.
Here's what I want to do.
So
I'm
these
on.
three.
Say one of them, I dare you.
Nope. I want to cast. I'm on top. I'm going to jump off
Okay.
into the water.
Okay.
But as I'm going down, you see Skriz pull out of his pocket a frog that he picked up while they were going through the marsh.
Okay.
And he bites the head off
Oh,
of it.
Jesus.
And it's like, and he goes as he hits the water. I cast Alter Self to make myself look like a bullywog.
Okay.
Interesting.
But I want to make it where nobody knows. But like when I pop back out of the water, like resurface, I look like a bullywog, and make my way towards the middle island there. Yes.
Okay. Anything else from you, Skriz?
What does that do? Does it give you like their swim speed? Anything like that?
It says you transform your appearance. You decide what you look like, including height, weight, facial features, sound of your voice, your hair length, coloration, distinguishing characteristics, if any. You make yourself appear as a member of another race. Though none of your statistics change, you also can appear as a creature of different size than you. They're about my same size, right?
But the grungs are,
Yeah.
not the bullywugs.
Oh, well then I want to look like
They look
one of the
like
grunts. And your basic shape stays the same. If you are bipedal, you can't use this spell to become quadrupedal. For instance, at any time duration of the spell, you can use your action to change your appearance in this way again. At any time during the duration, you can use it to change your appearance. So I can change my appearance at any time.
Okay.
Then you can get to there.
So now I look like a grung.
Nice.
All right, so that was my action. And then
Is that concentration?
that is concentration. And then as a bonus action, I would like to give Bardic Inspiration. As I'm swimming up, I'll give our Bardic Inspiration to Elvin.
He does love me.
Oh, wrong one.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm done. So I do my
ow.
whole movement. I changed Alter Self into a grung.
All right. The last giant frog is going to jump straight up in the air 10 feet and make an attack against the bird.
All right.
Okay.
So it's going to do a bite attack against you. It's 13 to hit.
Miss.
Okay. And then it lands back down directly where it was at, and that's its turn. With the beating of the drums, something begins stirring in the water in the middle of the pond. You see bubbles start gurgling, and you see, well, you can't actually see it that well because of the fog, but the fog seems like it's actually starting to clear out a little bit. You're able to see now about 30 feet out in front of you, where before you were only able to see about 20. So those of you, Elvin, from your vantage point, you see what looks like huge air bubbles just start coming up from the surface as though something is coming up from the bottom of the pond and lake.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
Just ignore it, guys.
A large, slender tentacle comes out from the water on Rocky's side. It looks kind of like a green, slimy octopus squid, for a lack of a better term. It comes up out of the water and makes an attack at Rocky. It's going to be a... $21 to hit.
Yeah, it just hits.
It's going to be 19 points of damage, bludgeoning, and the tentacle actually rips you out of the frog's mouth.
Oh, good.
And you're now wrapped around this tentacle and grappled by it.
Oh shoot.
Oh, good.
I'm in danger.
Another.
Another large tentacle comes out of
grappled
the
by
water
another
and smacks at Elvin.
Disadvantage. Disadvantage.
Man, they
Concentration.
keep hitting my AC.
It's 16 hit.
Fucker.
Yes.
21.
Okay.
Nice.
A third tentacle comes out of the water and is going to take a swing at the bird. 16.
Yeah.
That is going to be
Did you?
19 points of bludgeoning damage, and your bird is grappled.
19. Let's see if she's still alive. She's alive.
The weird part is that the last tentacle doesn't seem so much like a tentacle. It looks like a large frog tongue.
Sorry, you said 13?
Penis.
19.
19?
Definitely.
The only thing, Elvin, that you see when the bubbles sort of stop is it looks to be a set of eyes that have like 3 sets of eyes on top of it sticking up out of the water.
We're at.
Middle.
So-
Not far from the ground.
Okay.
I just want to see the grung get eaten.
So we can. The eyes are above the surface?
Yes.
Okay.
The spellcaster at the end sees Elvin, and he is going to.
Well, he sees a flying bullywog. Because that's what I am.
That is true. You are flying bullywog.
I am friend, not foe.
I am. You get a flying bullywog with spectral death wings.
He's going to cast lightning bolt at you.
Black lightning bolt?
No, frog lightning bolt.
They trigger off.
It does
attack.
poison.
Okay, well,
Make a dex
You
save.
can cast any spell though. Gotcha. Any spell. That will not
Fail.
Okay.
Damage or attack spell.
I'm assuming a 5 fails. This is gonna hurt. You better hope your bullet is just by the hood.
Wait, what did you just make?
Dex save.
Take 23 points of lightning damage.
So, oh, you didn't do attack. You did like, what'd you do?
I did a lightning bolt with the shaman.
Lightning bolt.
Oh, so it's not. It's where he does his deck save. It's not an
It's
attack
a
roll.
it's a saving throw. Yeah.
Never mind. Man.
That's his
I
turn.
was going to use.
Elvin,
silver
you're up.
ring.
Okay. Elvin will keep flying forward, not scared of the lightning bolt hitting him. Almost kind of trying to channel it. And simultaneously, he will move forward. And you all start to hear that whole, like, Freddy Krueger, the kids, and stuff like that. They're coming for you. And I'll cast Spirit Guardians.
So you got the
And they're little yeah, they're little bullywog kids.
They're like bullywog kids. Okay. Nice. So you hit these two up here then with that.
Yeah, I want to be able to hit all 3.
So you hit that guy, or these
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, you can move me.
Are you gonna stay? Are you gonna like fly down a little bit to say you're in radius of all of them?
It'll hit all of them.
Yeah. No, it will.
Yeah.
How high
So-
are you?
Does it just hit
It's,
enemies,
in
or does,
5,
would it hit
5,
me
10
also?
feet.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
I'm still within striking range.
Gotcha.
Of anything.
You're like okay.
I was just hovering over
Cool.
the water.
So all right. So
all 3 of them have to make a wisdom saving
the
throw.
Staff guy, and then the 2 that are on the pillars.
Staff got a 17 on the wisdom.
Okay.
And then the 2 on the pillars, that is a 7 on the yellow one, and the one with the spear, he got 9.
Nice.
Okay. Man, the demons are here tonight. 3 6s.
Goodness.
18 damage. Anybody that saved will take half.
Nice. What a good spell.
And then you'll see the hand kind of crawl up that little structure and smack it right in the back of the head, the guy with the staff. So I'll make an attack roll for that.
So let's see, you hit the bullywug.
Alright.
What is
Alright.
it? Oh, for
And then
yeah,
you
you
hit
can use
the
it.
yellow frog man.
15. Yeah. That helps. That should hit. Hopefully. And does a 17 hit
On who?
on the staff guy?
17 does hit.
Okay. So it's a 1d8 plus 2. And it's going to be necrotic damage. Ooh, baby. 10 damage, max damage. Necrotic damage to the staff guy from the weapon.
How much damage?
10.
10? Okay.
Yep. And I just want to make sure I use all my stuff. So you see it kind of slap it in the back of its head, leaving almost this mark of a handprint and necrotic energy on the back of this frog-looking screecher's skull. And I'll pump my Channel Divinity Touch of Death into it and deal 17 more damage of necrotic
To the shaman?
to the shaman.
That's going to kill him.
Nice. I
He's
win.
like,
Game's
now,
over.
Now I'm going home.
All right, that's it for me.
All right.
We win, guys. That was the
Liz,
BBEG.
you're up.
Okay. How far?
Oh, can you move Harpy up?
Oh yeah. What's
Uh,
his movement speed?
It's 20. It's only 20 feet.
Okay.
God, he can't fucking swim.
I mean,
Yes.
you can walk. You can just
What
walk
is
into
he?
the
Is he
water.
a creature, a construct?
He's a
Undead.
putrid.
He's
No.
undead.
He's an undead creature.
But creature.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, he could just walk in the water. He doesn't need to breathe.
He has to swim,
He can just walk in it.
His
It'd be
swim
difficult
speed is half
terrain.
of his movement.
Yeah.
so he can swim.
He can swim. If you don't have a swim speed,
Sure.
it's just
Okay,
Yeah.
that's all I was. That's why I didn't want him to walk in the water. I'm like, this motherfucker's gonna drown. Like,
he can't breathe.
If he's
If
dead,
he's
I
undead,
mean, it
he
doesn't
can't
matter.
breathe anyways. You don't need to
Okay.
breathe.
It's already.
so I'll move him as far as I can in the water. So just move him
Do you just wanna-
5 feet into the water.
You want him to just dash?
Uh,
Still
yeah,
dash.
yeah, I'll dash.
Sure. Yeah. So get the light right there.
How close is he to the 3 eyes poking out of the water or whatever?
10 feet.
Make a wisdom save, because anybody within 10 feet of him at the start of their turn,
So 13.
you pass.
Okay.
That's
Anything
it.
else?
That's it.
Okay.
I forgot that I have to take his turn. So, well, I don't.
Fair
know.
enough.
So now you can go. Listen, I'm gonna go the rest. Fair enough.
I guess seeing. I'll move it closer because I see. So you said it's 30 feet now. We can see.
Yeah, you can see up to 30 feet.
I see like this figure like floating around. So I'm gonna get a little bit closer. And now I see Rocky. It's just being grabbed by this tentacle. I guess I'll shoot a firebolt at the tentacle.
Okay.
So,
Don't hit me.
well, I definitely miss. It's a 9.
Yeah, that misses.
But after I miss, I'm gonna cast Spiritual Weapon myself because I just picked up that spell because I'm cleric and I can have any spell they have prepared, which is really cool. I like clerics.
Cleric is awesome.
Baldur's Gate.
It's pretty nice spell to have. Although the 20 feet of movement sucks sometimes.
Yes, it does.
You can have the skull. That's your spiritual
Nice. Yeah. I feel like his spiritual weapon would just literally be like a skeletal hand. Just like goes over and just like with claws, just
It's,
slash that.
it's the skull from the other Lizica that died.
Yeah. Yep.
It's fine.
Do I get to make this attack on the same turn I
Yep.
cast it? Okay. So then I'll just put it within. Is this tentacle large? Like take up 2 space worth or just 1 space worth?
I would say it takes up a medium size.
Medium size. Okay. So then I'll just put it right here next to Rocky, and I'll go ahead and attack that tentacle. I'm casting it at 3rd level, by the way.
I didn't even see that growing behind that brawl there.
Okay. It's another 9. It's different, even with a different spellcasting modifier. I still cast. I still
You do
hit
have
9.
bless.
I do have bless. I don't know if that probably won't help too much, but might as well try. 10.
Not
Missed
gonna
it
get there.
by that much. Would bless have helped
Don't-
your last attack roll?
Probably not. 11.
Nope.
Hey, at least we know it's not 9, 10, or 11 AC.
That's true.
We're
Information.
feeling it out.
17 is good hit.
With that though, seeing this thing likes to attack things near the water, I'm gonna move like back
Anything else from you, Liz?
here. That's it.
The bullywug on top is going to make a spear attack. He's not throwing at Elvin. He's going to hit him because Elvin's within range.
This one up here.
Yep.
Your turn, make a wisdom save.
Wisdom. Yeah.
Wisdom save.
Yep.
Got a 3.
14. That's a fail.
Oh boy.
4, 8. 13 damage.
As he goes to hit you with the spear, he begins ripping his own eyeballs out because he's so terrified of the images that are there, and he dies.
What that with Q?
Rocky, you're up.
All right.
Good job,
So
bro.
I can see the eyeballs from where I'm at.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to clench and then cast Misty Step to the eyeballs, maybe like 5 feet above the eyeballs. I'm going to unclench and come down with my sword trying to go through the eyes.
Okay.
Oh.
Do it!
So is it just like right here in the center?
Yep.
Okay. You know you're crap.
Not with Misty Step.
Oh, yeah, that's-
23
yeah.
to hit.
23 hits.
What is here?
All right. That was shit roll.
How can you? Hey, at least you hit.
12 damage. Do I get any additional damage from falling a little bit with my...
I'd say no.
I do like
How
how
much
you
higher
asked
would
for-
I have had to go? Okay, so once I connect with the sword, I'll ream up and go to stab him in the eye again.
How much damage was the first strike?
Sorry, 13.
13. You got it.
And that is a 18 to hit.
18 hits.
Nice.
It's the same. No, it's actually worse. 10 damage.
Okay.
Ball sack. And then I'm going to end my turn.
All right. Nevena, you're up.
All right.
Somebody
First,
make
I would
an
like Tinsel to take her turn, and I want to attempt to break the grapple.
All right.
I don't know that.
Go ahead and make a strength check.
She's not super strong.
Fair enough.
Harvey's not even in range.
Next turn will be able to attack though. Not with that
Oh,
attitude.
she kind of is. I didn't know she was. 18.
You were able to break free from the tongue.
Cool. Because gross.
Because
Uh,
yeah.
That
Ow.
doesn't restrict my fly speed or anything since.
Nope.
All right. So, okay. Before I do this, if she wanted to attempt to try to clear the fog out by flapping her wings, would that be an action?
I would say that she
bonus
could do that
action?
while she's trying to fly away.
All right.
nice.
She's going to fly probably 40 feet up about here.
Cool idea.
I'm going to say that you were able to clear out a little bit. It might have cleared another 10 feet of visual on this side.
Okay.
On this side.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
So maybe 40 feet on that side.
Mm-hmm.
That's sick.
All right. So she's about 40 feet off the water.
Okay.
Right there.
Man, the one time I don't have my gust spell prepared.
And then I am going to. Okay, I would have asked before we played, but I forgot. Would you mind if I polymorphed Harvey?
No.
I don't know that you can polymorph Harvey.
I can do creatures. I'm not sure if he counts.
I think it's considered a spirit. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not really
An undead
considered a.
spirit. Sorry.
I would say no.
No? Okay.
You
Then I
gonna-
wouldn't try.
Oh, he's also spirit. I would say you could try Benji, but he's also considered a spirit.
Since the creature itself is already summoned,
Mm-hmm.
I would say no.
Okay. Thought I would ask, just in case.
That would have been cool. Giant
Alright.
shark.
Yeah.
Since I can't do that, I will. Okay, so would I be able to see the ice if I was about here, 40 feet out?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're about here.
Alright.
5, 10, 15, 20.
What
20
side
foot,
do you
20
Then-
feet to get there.
I am going to cast at 4th level Psychic Glance.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
It's a intelligence saving throw. Save is 16.
Funny enough, I just picked that spell up and added it to my spell book.
I got a 0. I'm sorry, I got a -2.
Wow.
So he fails and takes 7d6 psychic damage and is incapacitated
That's a
until
really
the
good
start
spell.
of my next turn.
I think
Nice.
Jace cast that spell whenever fights with him, or as an ally.
That's awesome. You use some d6s?
I think I have enough.
Because you're a rogue.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
'cause
that's
you're a rogue.
exactly why I have that setting.
I understand.
All right.
Sneak attack. Got him. Sneak attack. Basically.
Hey, did you get
My
that beer?
goodness. You rolled really well.
I said, did you get that beer yet?
What beer?
The one at your house.
Yes, I've grabbed 2 of them
Smart thinking.
and made a sandwich.
Ballooning.
30 damage.
Pepperoni.
30 psychic damage.
That's good.
And then,
You moved 20.
How far?
then I will.
So where's the monster at? That's in the water.
Like where Rocky's at.
Let's not do something else. Psychic mace?
Incapacitated until the start of my next turn.
Okay.
That's
And
strong.
that's all.
What's incapacitated?
The
The
monster
big
in the water
creature.
that we can't see yet.
The yellow frog man up at the top is
Wisdom
got to
save.
make a wisdom save.
It's gonna
Say 13.
That's a fake. Hey. Ooh, it's better than the last time. Just kidding, it's not. 9.
The bullywug, Grung rips out his own eyes, looking at the terrifying demon children, and plummets to his death. He's dead.
They're bullywog children. Not
So
demons.
which one are all dead? The staff bullywog?
Yeah, he's dead.
Staff
Those two.
bullywug.
Yeah.
Step bullywog.
Hey, I'm trying to shrink how many
Grung.
players go before
The
you.
yellow
The
grung.
yellow grung and the bullywug.
Bullywog.
Oh, sweet. I'm moving up in the roster.
That's what I was saying. I just cleared out 3 enemies. You gotta go so much faster now.
That feels it.
All
I've
right.
never gone this late in the round. I'm usually like win the first 2.
The next one up is the first frogman, Frogman A. He's the one out in the water by the eyes.
I want to see him get eaten.
Yep. He is going to go underneath the water's depths, and you are not sure exactly what it is that he's doing underneath there.
He's milking it.
He's done.
Should he move off the board?
Giant frog that was by Rocky is going to leap 10 feet out into the water and then swim up to Rocky. It's then going to make a bite attack against Rocky. 16 is not going to hit you. That's his turn. Frogman.
Grung B.
It's going to be him over there. He is going to move out towards that little island and dash near Rocky.
30, 35.
Frogman
Almost
over
dead.
here is going to mount the giant frog.
That's gross.
That's his turn.
How does it work?
Skriznet, you're up.
All right. So I still look like a little grung. And I'm going to come out of the water.
He dies of spirit already.
So, but I'm gonna get behind it, the post there, and I'm going to cast Chaos Bolt
Ooh, nice.
at the one grung that's near Rocky.
Okay.
All right.
So
You have an extra D4 from Bless for your attack roll.
nice. So attack.
Lord knows I need those.
I'm so excited.
16, 18.
18 on, I'm sorry, who?
This guy, I think that was B. Grung B.
Yeah, 18 will hit.
18 hits. So I roll 2d8s. And I could do a 2 or 1. I'm going to go with cold damage. And that would be 9 damage to it.
9 damage.
9
you got
cold
it.
damage.
You got it.
So that would be one of the actions. Charges off that. And then as a bonus action, I'm going to cast from behind there. I'm going to go ahead. So that's a grung also. So we're about the same size, right?
Mhm.
So I can't use Fury the Small. Oh, I got another infusion. I'll use bonus action to bring out the cod cannon.
That's how I know it's Grizz. He's safe.
You just like I look up at Elvin. I'm like, and then you just see from like the little loincloth, I guess the grung's wearing. You just see, bloop. like a little tadpole come out. And I look up at him and I go,
Remember our honeymoon?
and that's my action. Was bringing out the ballista to get it ready,
Okay.
prep for the next round.
Anything else from you, Skriz?
But I'm behind that
Pillar, hiding
the
behind the
pillar, so
All right.
Got
The giant frog is going to bounce up onto the shoreline with the other frog on top of him. He's going to leap 20 feet this way.
This way?
Towards Elvin.
Towards Alva.
And then he's going to attempt to...
Does he enter the circle?
Yeah, he has to. He wants to get up close to you.
but
Does
it's
he have
only
enough
enemies,
movement
right?
too?
Yeah. He's able to jump 20 feet.
Oh, jump and then move. I gotcha. Okay. I
Wisdom
thought.
save.
So yeah,
Both of them.
he can get right up there. He's flying low enough.
The little guy got a 16, and the frog got a 8.
So it is 12 damage to the big frog and 6 to your little guy.
Got it.
Yep.
It's going to make a bite attack at
Trying
Elvin.
to be the little frog.
No, it's not going to hit. That's pretty low. From underneath the depths, you hear more gurgling and noise, and then what normally would have incapacitated the foe, you see that it's now sort of glowing with a red, bubbling water underneath. There's some sort of energy coming from it, and the grung that went under the water comes flying out of the water
It's bleeding him.
and lands on the shore and splats.
Wait, it's dead?
Yeah.
What happened?
The big one is?
No, the tiny one. Okay.
Oh, I thought it was the big giant frog dude died.
No, he's
No.
coming to say hi.
Howdy.
Oh.
Oh my god, Rocky, it's your mother.
This thing surfaces from the water. It has a red haze in its eyes.
Now that is
my god.
that is the whatchamacallit,
That is one ugly motherfucker.
yeah.
This thing is.
However, it is exhausted from the trip up. But it now has a salve on it that allows it to make legendary saves.
That is the Babe Ruth of lot lizards.
Done. Frog Shaman is dead.
Elvin's turn.
Elvin's up.
So
Did you take off one of the other grungs, or
Grung A is missing.
okay, so Elvin hears this big monster come out of the water.
Oh yeah, you hear this.
I mean, it's
Sounds like
the water
Schwarzenegger.
coming up sounded like a fat kid jumping in and doing a cannonball.
get to the swamp now?
I'm a cop, you idiot!
It's not a tumor. Yeah.
We're gonna play a game called Who's Your Daddy and What Does He Do?
I'm not a frog.
I will turn around, seeing this toad trying to bite me, and I will take. I'll actually do bonus action first, and I'll move my hexblade weapon right beside him, and do an attack.
How much movement does your weapon have?
20 feet.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll make it.
15.
Might get to the frog.
As long as I'm in melee, however I can get to melee range.
It can get there. It's
Yeah,
just-
because it could be underneath me. Does a 19 hit?
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
good enough.
Oh, I thought you were trying to move it to the big.
No, just a little
4
guy.
damage.
4
The
damage. You
giant
got it.
toad.
It was sweet, necrotic. That helps. I'm going to take a swing. First swing. Actually, I'm going to do. Well, no, that was bonus action to movement. Okay. Take a swing, normal swing. Okay, that is an 18.
Are you hitting the frog or the rider?
The frog.
Got it. 18 hits.
And that's a crit on
Okay.
the second swing. But we'll do the first damage first. Make it easy. I will. So. Nice. 12 damage on the first swing.
You got
Necrotic. Second swing was a crit. So that's not very good. 11.
That's going to kill it.
Okay.
So the giant toad.
Yep.
Sweet, I'm
The
glad he was
toad
after
sinks
me.
into the water, and his rider rights himself.
Rights himself?
Yeah, he doesn't
roll
fall
over
backwards.
there.
He
Oh.
keeps upright.
Okay. So kind of walking towards the big ass beast. That's
Are you going to the
yeah. I'm gonna
Okay.
walk up there to where
25, 30.
he'll enter the ring and have to do a wisdom save.
Oh, the little guy too.
Yep.
Little guy gets a 4.
That's 18 points of damage.
The big one gets a 19.
Okay. It's 9 damage for the big guy, 18 for the little guy.
Okay. Which little guy is that?
I think that's
That
think
should be
it's
B.
A.
Because he
not
flung
here.
A. A's dead.
yeah. It was B. B.
Got it. That's going to kill the middle one too. So Frogman B's down.
A and B both gone.
And giant toad gone.
There's already one giant.
He already took.
Oh,
this
I
one's
forgot
on
there's
itself.
another
Yep.
giant toad.
All right.
Okay. For my next turn, I'm gonna move Harvey up to the big guy. I'm assuming this is not going to work. Can I get a wisdom saving throw of 14, since he's within 5 feet of Harvey?
I'm rolling good on his wisdom saves. That's a 17.
Okay. So that doesn't matter. But I will make swings with Harvey.
Get him, Harvey.
That is a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Ooh, nice.
Harvey hits for a D8 plus. What's a D8 plus 4? Scroll down here. Attack weapon. It's plus 3 plus spell level and necrotic. What are we doing for the spell level? Just 3?
What level did you cast the spell at?
Summon Undead's only third
It's
level.
casted at the lowest level that you can cast
Then
it.
3. Okay. So that's 14 damage.
Okay. 14.
From
Nice.
Harvey. His next part of the spell doesn't matter because you are not poisoned. Because if you were, if the target is poisoned, it must succeed. Yeah, so you're not poisoned. It doesn't matter. So
All right.
just 14 damage, necrotic. And that's it for Harvey.
All right, Liz, you're up.
Okay.
I do damage.
So nothing fog-wise has changed, right?
The fog status, it has dissipated another 10 feet. You can see 40 feet
Okay,
out.
cool. I will, if I get here, I'll let me see this giant frog thing. Well, in that case, then, I will see. It's taking damage. I'll just do Toll Dead on it.
Okay.
So wisdom.
It's a 19.
That saves, and then spiritual weapon is already next to this giant frog, or the giant toad. So I'll just have it attack the giant toad.
What's the big toad's starting turn?
He starts at the top of the round.
25 to hit the giant toad.
That's going to hit.
So 2d8s. Seven. So it's then
Probably on
another
the
seven.
cusp.
7 force damage on the giant
Might be
toad.
outside of the range.
All right.
And it's like 20 feet away.
It's 20 feet.
20
Y'all
feet
are
center to
good.
you. So that's really only 10 feet either side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my turn.
All right. Rocky, you're up.
Alrighty then. So I'm going to use my bonus action to use my Vow of Enmity to get advantage on that motherfucker. And then I'm going to swing 2 times at him.
All right.
The 2-time back-to-back champion.
Gonna give it back to back here. That is a 23.
That hits.
Make sure you wink at me, Daddy.
Okay.
Now you're just making it
Was
weird.
gonna.
You're just making it weird.
I'm also gonna do a first level smite.
Of course you are. Remind me never to DM a game that Bill's in.
You mean with a paladin?
Because I'll fucking quit. No paladins. Everybody has to be bards.
I've never played one. I'll try.
27 for the first hit.
Okay.
And then second swing.
Second swing.
Ooh. That's very bad. Very, very
Yep, you have, as I say, you have bless.
Oh, the worst you could
Yeah.
roll on everything.
Why we can buy people?
Oh, who? The big guy?
13.
Doesn't it?
10.
How am I not?
You didn't have
All
enough
right,
movement.
and
35?
then for
35.
Not 25.
my
you
weapons
only had 30.
ability, I'm gonna wink at Elvin and say, "How you doing?"
Do you only have 30 or 35 movement?
I'm checking just so I don't wrong you. I only have 30.
Oh, then
How far did you move it?
That's
30 feet.
I've never seen anybody with like 35. It's
Well,
usually like
just
30.
Goliath.
Huh?
Goliath has
Well,
Oh,
35.
Goliaths do have
my monk has
35.
40 feet.
What else do
Yeah,
too?
and monks,
Oh,
I think
yeah,
they
I
get
thought
like
it was just
40.
usually like 30.
Okay.
I
But
guess
yeah,
my
you're right.
halfling-
Average is like 30.
Yeah,
So
'cause I know
I
my
guess
halfling had like
I'm not
25.
close
Yeah.
enough.
Same for my gnome.
have crossbow?
Or no, that's what I'm
Sorry?
talking
Throw my fucking hammer. Fuck you.
Throw your hammer.
Actually, I do have a crossbow, but fuck using that. I'm gonna throw my hammer at it.
Okay. I mean, he also has spells, but it's fine.
Can you? I thought I had. To be
Nope,
able-
you can't.
It's,
Haha.
it's only weapon attacks. Yeah.
I like
I'm
getting his
assuming,
hopes up.
I'm assuming a 15 misses.
15 hits.
Ooh.
Oh man, I just missed.
Yay, 6.
6.
And
All
then
right.
Can I use my bonus
it.
action to take a little swig from the?
Didn't you use your bonus action to use Vow of Enmity to get advantage?
You're right. I will end my turn.
Correction.
That is correct.
I was just making sure.
I'm talking about my next turn. I'm
Got
planning
it.
planning
Okay.
ahead, yeah.
Okay.
It's good. Good to think that way.
I don't normally have to say no, Bill. No.
You're
but
wrong.
I feel like
No.
yeah, I remembered that. I
It's-
remembered.
It's true. It's so rare that I use a bonus action.
It's
I
very
always
rare.
Forget.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for me.
All right. Nevena, you're up.
All right, I'm going to move. And so it's roughly 20 feet between myself and the frog monster.
Sure.
Would it be 30 feet or less between myself and Rocky?
Yeah.
All right. Say happy birthday, Rocky. Haste.
Haste. Nice.
Not a few reps.
And then I'm going to back up and run away.
We play like a bunch of bitches, and I love it.
I love it.
And then I will have Tinsel take her turn and try to additionally clear up the fog, if possible.
Okay. Yeah. You'd be able to clear up another 10 feet. So you'd have 50 feet of visibility on that side.
Nice.
Yeah, she's like going back and forth trying to get both sides if possible. And then she'll end up 40 feet up over here.
Okay.
And that's it.
Giant frog is going to leap up and try to bite Elvin.
Why?
Well, I got good news and I got good news.
Yay.
For who?
So I did roll a crit, but at disadvantage, I only rolled a 17.
17 hits. It's right on the money.
It's not a crit, though. Which is good.
It was double good news. Good for you, and good for me. Happy for your crit. Sorry you couldn't let that happen.
So you are now grappled as this thing pulls you out of the air and drags you down into the water with it. You are going to take 8 points of piercing damage as this thing bites onto you.
Oh, it needs to make a wisdom saving throw for his.
Yes.
For his
Yes.
aura
Yes,
too.
it does. My good friend.
That's a 19.
Fuck you. That's fine. I rolled shitty anyway. Take 10. Take 5.
Okay.
Which one grabbed me?
The frog.
The giant toad.
The giant toad? That son of a bitch.
Frogman, the one that's left.
Down here, yep.
I don't think he realizes that Skriz is an enemy yet. He's going to actually go up to Skriz and go, all right, so now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to get that guy with the wings that the frog's got, and we're going to want to stab him a lot. Get ready. All right. He's going to hold his action.
Roger.
Skriz, you're up.
My turn? Okay. So, as I'm doing this, I'm like, and I move him like right in front of me. But when I do that, like I have like the finger guns, and one of the finger guns is like right to his back, and I'm going to cast Scorching Ray at point blank at 4th level. Now I'm wondering, can I do it?
I think it's disadvantage unless you move away a little bit. Not a lot. Like you have to move like.
You can like move in front of you and then step.
You have to,
literally
I think you have to be at least 5 feet
Oh, it's a
away
range.
from
Yeah, it's a
10
ranged
feet.
spell
Step back a
attack.
little bit.
So you
I'm
can
gonna,
literally
like,
just like
I'm gonna move him like right.
you move him like right here.
And
You
I'm
just
like,
line him up.
right in grown speak. I'm like, right, yeah, right there. Okay. And then I back up, and I'm now. Can I do it this way where at 4th level I get to shoot 3 of them off? Now can it be like
4?
pew pew pew? No, it says.
I thought you were.
Oh, you 3 rays at when you cast this using a spell 3rd or higher. You create 1 additional ray for each
So that's
additional 2 rays. So it'd be 5 rays.
Oh, nice.
Do they all hit the same target?
I can,
you can
no, I
split-
can
you can
point them
split them
wherever I want to.
So where do you want these things?
So
to go?
can I just do one at a time when I'm like pew 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 pew?
I would say no. They kind of go all at the same time, so you'd have to pick where you want to hit before you see what they do.
Just to double make sure that I kill this grung in front of me, I'm going to do 2 on him.
Okay.
I'm going to do 2 on the toad,
Giant toad.
and then 2 on the frog monster, or 1 on the
One
frog
on the
monster.
frog monster.
Okay.
Nice.
Let's do the grung in front. I'm going to give you advantage since he has no idea that this attack
Nice.
is coming.
You don't forget you have bless for all these too.
Yes. So we're going to do advantage for each one of the.
Yeah, for the 2 attacks on him because they kind of happen at the same time.
Thank goodness for advantage. The first one would be, I think it's only a +5 because I'm an artificer. So
Plus.
yes. Well, I think a 20. There's 20. That's 21. 24 on the first one.
24 is definitely a lot of damage.
Okay, and then for the second one against him is a 25. Oh wait, hold on. 26.
Okay. Yeah, both those hit.
And that would be 2d6 apiece.
Goodness gracious. This poor guy.
This guy's just here showing up for work, right?
Yeah.
7 on the first
Okay.
one, and 8 on the second one.
So 15 fire damage.
15 fire damage to the back.
Jesus.
This guy's looking rugged.
Oh, he's still alive?
He's still alive.
Damn it!
He's got a big hole burned through his one shoulder and one burned through his other shoulder, and he's like looking around like not really sure exactly what happened.
Oh, I missed.
So I feel like when he turns around to look at me, I just go like this, like cross-eyed. I'm like, what? Like I'm all cross-eyed.
Did I hit him?
Did I get him?
Who hired that man as a gunner? I did,
So
sir.
for the next 2 attacks on the giant toad, nice. They might have both bit 19.
He's a major asshole, sir.
There's 22 on that one.
Asshole.
16.
His
19
brother?
on the
Also
second
an
hit.
Both those hit.
Both
That's
hits.
what we got around this.
So,
Ooh, that's
so 11,
So good.
I can't control
22 on the toad.
That disintegrates the frog.
Heck yeah. You're no longer grappled.
I just
Yeah,
The
you
giant,
are
the giant
no
toad is
longer
gone.
grappled.
Just the tongue is left.
and then on the big boy,
We'll save this for later.
don't like that 11,
Ah, dang.
12.
I think if you would have rolled a 4, it would have
That
been.
okay, 4 out of 5 ain't bad.
That's still good. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like, pew, 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 and that one goes. It's like shooting a sparkler off at it, and it hits it. I'm like, huh? But when the grung turns around, I'm like, ow, I was aiming at the. And I start pointing at Elvin. I'm like, you're in the way.
All right. We are going to do one more round of combat, and then if we are not finished, we are going to call it a night for here tonight.
Sounds good.
So it's going to start up with the massive frog monster. It is going to...
Wisdom save. Yep.
I got a 17.
I got 8, 3, 12. So you take 6.
Okay.
6. Nice.
Let's see. This thing is going to make a...
I didn't even do bonus action.
Because you suck.
It's fine.
You're distracted. distracting him.
Wait, hold on. I still got bonus action.
Yeah, go ahead.
So as my bonus action, I'm gonna shoot the cod cannon off right in his back.
Okay.
And that
Right as he turns back around. Oh.
You got advantage.
oh
Oh.
+4.
Plus a D4.
oh shit. Okay, so that's 12, 15.
15 hits.
Turn. And I think that's just a D8. Make sure. Force ballistic. Oh, that's 2D8
2d8. Oh my goodness.
to the back.
That's a lot of force damage.
Basically
And
another ray.
that is 9 more damage to his back.
That's gonna kill him.
Oh my gosh.
So as
Whoops.
he turns around just as the cannon blast shoots him, and he's just like,
As he blows away, I'm like, my bad.
all right. Now it's the big frog monster's turn. He is going to get to do. Ooh, that's interesting.
Uh oh. That's not a good thing.
I hate to hear your DM say that.
Yeah.
First, it's going to use a tentacle attack against Elvin. That is a 24 to hit. That's
Yep.
with disadvantage.
Yep.
Jeez.
The tentacle attack is going to do 19 points of bludgeoning damage, and you're grappled. It's going to make a second tentacle attack. It's going to go into the water and try to hit Liz.
Okay.
It's 27 to hit.
I would like to cast, when he goes to hit at Liz, I cast as a reaction Silvery Barbs.
Ooh, nice.
Okay.
Gives a disadvantage.
Disadvantage on the throw.
And then you get to give somebody advantage within
Yes.
range.
And I will give.
So my worst roll was a 27.
Jesus.
Still, gosh.
Okay, and then Rocky will get advantage.
On
Already
the next
have
attack.
advantage.
I'll do ya.
Yeah.
Liz, you take 19 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled.
Elvin's got advantage. don't have
So it
advantage
makes
already,
2
do
of those.
Okay.
It's then going to use its tongue attack. What's the range on that?
All I gotta say is this monster better hope he's bulletproof because it's about to hurt.
It's going to use the tongue attack on Elvin.
You say that you cast Black
Er,
Lightning Bolt.
It's like
It's got Elvin, Harvey. I think that's really only
here's the
two
thing.
nearby.
No, we're good.
Or,
It's going to use a
or-
bite attack on Rocky.
If I crit,
Rocky, yeah.
he's also getting hit with that.
It's a 28 to hit.
Jesus.
28 to hit, Rocky.
That'll do it.
Even with your increased AC from
I know,
haste.
23.
You are going to take 22 points of piercing damage, and you are swallowed.
Uh-oh.
While you are swallowed, you are
Quitters,
blinded and
quitters.
restrained. You have total cover against attacks and other effects. And at the start of each of my turns, you're going to take 10 acid damage.
You know, this is like the 9th time I've been swallowed. What the fuck?
Well, spitters are quitters.
Jesus.
Okay. That is going to be his turn. Elvin, you're up.
At least he's still hasted.
So Alvin will kind
I'm
of
just angry and shaking.
see that thing happens. He saw him swallow Rocky, so he'll slide in to get advantage with Harvey. Okay,
But I
Nice.
gave you advantage.
I know. I still have.
But for the next attack.
It's okay. So I'm gonna take this first swing, but first we're gonna channel Eldritch Smite.
Ooh,
Well,
nice.
Yes, it's just Eldritch Smite.
Elder Smite. is
So you're burning a Warlock pack slot for that?
Well, hang on. 1 second, Girl Scout.
It's good.
I mean, it's probably worth it.
It's a D8.
No, we're
for
doing
each.
Branding Smite because we can do Eldritch Smite once we land.
That is true. That is true.
With advantage. Hiya! Ooh, you got lucky. It was almost an 18. Okay,
So what was it instead?
22.
22 hits.
And then I will use my actually,
So you're using your bonus action to cast Branding Smite.
yes.
Okay.
So I'm
What
not
level are you casting it?
Branding Smite. It's 3rd level,
Okay.
so it's a 3d6.
So you're using a 3rd level cleric spell slot.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so and I'm swinging for the fences.
Sure.
Two-handed, everything. Yay, swung for the fences. Oh, that's actually pretty good. 6, 11, 21, plus an additional 4. So that is 25 damage on the first swing.
Okay.
Second swing with advantage. That's cocked, but it would have been a 15. 18?
18 hits.
Okay, I will burn the pack slot to do 3d8 additional damage.
Okay.
Oh, this smells so good. Not bad. 5, 10, so 10, 12, 16 damage on that swing, necrotic.
Okay.
It ignores all resistances.
Okay.
And then, so swinging into the next one, kind of feeling the first one strike, leaving a slash mark. The second one, kind of feeling the blunt of the weapon. You're going to feel a little chill go down the little froggy's back. And I'm going to pump my other channel divinity slot, dealing 17 more damage in necrotic.
Nice.
Okay. I gotta make a con save. I fucking failed. I regurgitate Rocky.
Never been so happy to be regurgitated.
You fall out of his. You fall
He's
out
a
of his
quitter.
mouth. You are no longer restrained, and you are prone.
Okay. Moving.
So I'm doing the backstroke.
Yeah, moving to Harvey's turn.
You've already used your bonus action this turn.
Oh, just kidding. I thought Harvey was part of me.
He is part of you, but
I got it.
it
I got
requires
it.
your bonus
I
action
got
to do it.
So that's everything that I can do. Pretty cool turn.
That was a pretty good turn.
And
That's pretty good.
Liz,
yeah,
you're up.
I had like doubled the dice in case
Okay.
I rolled a crit. I was like, I have advantage. There's a chance.
So this thing grappled me, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so I'm like, pull up
you're not
my
restrained. You're just grappled.
Okay. Not like this thing grappled me. I'm just gonna like grab it with my hand and cast 5th level blight on it. Try to just suck the moisture out of this thing.
All right.
So it's a con save. I'm also gonna roll it on D&D Beyond because that's
It's
too
just
many D8s. I don't want to do it up there.
in the kitchen. So you have
With a
cupboard
plus
space area.
5, I only got an 11.
That's the small little cabinet on
Okay.
the top right. It's the furthest cabinet. Okay. It's a little thin cabinet. Did he
31 necrotic
Oh, I
damage.
thought he counterspelled. I was
Boy,
like, no,
it's so
I was
good.
Like, no fucking shot.
Holy
You just
shit.
counterspelled.
Is I just like just
This thing's looking kind of weak.
and then I'm gonna bring my spiritual weapon in as a bonus action. 10, 15, 20 can fly, so it doesn't worry about difficult terrain. I was just gonna try and scratch this this thing. I swear I cannot roll. Shit. No, it's only fucking 11.
Nope.
Gosh.
Rocky, you're prone, but you're up.
I switch from backstroke to front stroke and right myself. And then I'm going to kind of take my glasses off and give them like a shake and back on. I ever tell you how much I fucking hate being swallowed. And I'm going to try and like bring my sword up through its chin and hopefully getting some brain in there.
All right.
And I still have my advantage on him.
Did he crit?
Well, that's gonna be
With
fun
my
for
new
the
dice.
Spotify listeners to hear.
They're gonna think you just coomed.
I did.
Come to my dorks.
So that's
Can't
gonna
wait
be
to hear
a
that
third
back
level
later.
divine smite.
Forget about it.
Oh baby,
It was like
Oh
a
my
lightning bolt.
gosh.
Hit the tip of my penis.
it was.
Imagine being a
You
paladin.
sound like Fergie and Jesus. You know what sucks? I'm gonna finish this thing off. 14 don't go chasing waterfalls. You want to calculate?
No, I just have to figure out how many dice I have to roll. Is it undead?
See, I didn't even bother.
Undead fiend. Okay.
He got lucky.
It's a monstrosity.
Sure, let's
51.
51.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you got some brain. This thing's fucking top of its head explodes. And eyeballs go everywhere. Its tongue starts flagging and waggling around, and then it just kind of drops.
I would like to grab the tongue and then sever it off.
Yeah, we
Okay.
need proof.
Yeah, it's like a little souvenir.
All right. Congratulations, you have survived the encounter with the froghemoth.
Oh my god.
Froghemoth.
Look at that thing.
And we are going to call the session there tonight, fellas and lady. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
Session
We will be
sick.
back next week when they are going to turn in the bounty of the froghemoth to the...
It's a fucking wart, you dickhead.
to the kingdom of the Crookswells. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Deuces.